eye bebre ba ne pompon so ne pa according to PURC exchange rate and some other factors ne variables are utility companies e de agina so de aba ma me busa uso sa increment mu esen
Amida seminia on the was sense abribiano ye kase enyina mkanea no should be a policy lead in our industrialization, our quest for industrialization. And Yenina Mkaniano should lead. I will say the kind of senior yebetu hiafe ewo kruma because ye kase yebe creating nyuma ama ye mabuna nya juma ya one of the main factors are yebe creating nyuma no cheaper sources of energy, an affordable source of energy. So you say your industries grow, now you employ nipa bebre, now you very competitive. International marketer, affordable energy. So we think that senior yetutu enyinamkaniamu without any underpinning factors and also pragmatic factors no high end can see one of these things there as said here high end say abribiano aban to enyinam kania musa because any medical cano be worsen the poverty situations in Ghana, especially lifeline users of electricity now in 92 so we are here for no is going to worsen their plight.
Now,
two,
okay,
the industries no so no, so bonnie or industries no so.
Now, young core reasons are PURC general so they yes ade. Omo one, the investment needs of power utilities. Omo expected generation inputs. Omo macroeconomic indicators such as inflation. And the inflation is about 6% anambwa. So a single digit, about between 6 and 8. Almost also where the CD US dollar exchange rate, which is doing well, and at the cost of natural gas. So reason see any solid for the increment.
I think mostly no. You share macroeconomic indicators no. I basically two macroeconomic indicators now boy exchange rates and then inflation. And I share market-driven indicators, which is WACO, the energy mix itself, another fuel cost and other issues they can home. No, mostly no, they determine quarterly tariff, which is the operational expenditure of the various utilities. But over January, it mostly has to do with investment plan of the various utilities. More capital expenditure in the next 3 to 5 years. And based on that capital expenditure, no, but this must be situated in history. This is not the first time utilities no ababeka say yamo musika no mo expande omo capex. Now that expansion no will near to the benefit of the consumer in terms of affordable prices and reduce wastage in the system. 2018, before 2018 krano, na a multi-year tariff regime system and also operation. 2018 everybody, 2022 everybody. The unfortunate part is that anytime krana you have this multi-year review no. So time na who say utilities no, especially the distributors no. Net Koni ECG almost system losses are increasing. So what it means is that buying physical beer to help these organizations and institutions or buy a But the organizations themselves are not ready to be very prudent.
Exactly.
When you're ready, some be very efficient. When you're ready, some be optimal in their activities. And as a campaign and ushi and swagum and and that is one of the reasons. Because if you look at the announcement nearby now, I think that me kind year PRC crap is so chess the 9%, a little over 9%, and no year the capex, which is a multi-year, but quarter piano, a bit to what it means is that favorable to us even in the first quarter of 2026. A bit me start to Kaniamu.
Yeah.
And to me in the first quarter of 2026, a bit media can't boom in the second quarter. Say this year, no. So this year, May tariff adjustment no combined the first quarter and the second quarter. The H1 say April cry kono. And we have periods bit my catcher and say or say combine I increase the tariff view. To what end? And I think that you blame say as a minor, we need to review our electricity market and make sure that regulation no MYN, because regulation goes to help the utilities, and the utilities have never been efficient. They've never been prudent. They've never been optimal in their operations. But the consumer goes to suffer some of these inefficiencies.
PRC ngune, because at the end of the day, a back consumer now, you never hear PRC stand up for the consumer. But utility for no call a PRC why it appears at an automatic adjustment. Omunya ko ya nyomo peno yamfani nyina ama womo a ne de bia ma womo. But the bit about the consumer, PRC in society for our interest, you hardly see PRC champion that aspect. And I think
that good year, we may need them. Matese PSA MAG, PRC Energy Commission. I think I support that because PRC now on the staff strengthening the infrastructure, and you are wasting a lot of resources in that. You have the own energy commission as here. We can create a division so that so wait me are regulated the market. But the main person making say even the market crown you say review market stop this total regulation or what they would term as partial regulation, because at the end of the day PRS in a certain price mine, whether favorable to the consumer or favorable to the utilities, but say utilities may benefit more than us because intina abbreviano yet to Musa. There are certain times you look at the data and ask yourself why should PRC increase. Now the saddest part for me, you hear almost statement now. It doesn't look bright for us because we share most of our energy policies. If you look at the energy compact are buying, they call UN, they call representative and say in the next 5 years, this is how our energy plan is. Now, the PRC statement of the buyer now, it differs totally with your energy plan because they say we are doing about 28% hydro and doing about 72% or so thermal. But in the next 5 years, the PRC catcher and say the thermal will constitute 78%, which means that hydro is likely going to be 20% or 22%. Now renewable energy credit almost around 1%. So if our energy mix in the next 5 years, according to PRC, is still going to be dominated by thermal, which even say there's a bit of cleaner energy in natural gas. But still, it has some fault when it comes to emission levels, right? This is 78 thermal, not 20. Hydro, it means that hydro has the capacity to feed us about 5,000 gigawatts a year.
And that raises...
Are they foreseeing? Are they projecting that drought BBC and I say, are they projecting that the hydro best say in the next 5 years are they also projecting that gigawatt in terms of renewable energy yeah for being Kahuana so that you wait here only natural gas and a bay idea be using was a different 9% in the next. So it also feeds into how we develop policies within the energy sector. I think the PRC statement contradicts the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition position when it comes to renewable energy penetration in the power sector, as well as the various targets EPSA achieve by 2030 in the power sector.
But how does the PRC statement contradict government's policy when in the budget the finance minister is saying we are going to build the biggest thermal facility na yetimi e generating electricity? That was not renewable energy. One would have thought say and in that budget we would have seen a huge commitment to renewable energy, but yet we are talking about building about the biggest gas facility yedeba power thermal plants. So probably the PRC is singing the same song as government.
No, I think that building said capacities must be looked from the view of demand.
Okay.
Right. It is a build the thermal capacity. Now demand is you grow at any point in time. I was said or thermal generation within the energy mix they 72 said you one and they to about 28 because those days now about 69 to 31. Hydro is doing around 31, sometimes 33% of our energy mix, whilst thermal is doing 67. And they say, oh, grow thermal now once you see we create mini hydros. We share PRC statements now and even the 2026 budget, which also even had its foundation from the 2025 budget, are buying castle per se OC 35 mini hydros. And 35 mini hydros, within the renewable argument, must be 100 megawatts or below. And they say, see, 35 mini hydros, not a year, even 50, which is average, a 50 megawatts per each of these hydros, is here. We multiply that 50 by 35, it is likely going to give you in excess of 1,000 megawatts of power. Right? This is come on in excess of power. That's why even we see 1,200. Even though your thermal is going to increase, but your hydro is also increasing. So in terms of percentage, hydro should not fall to 20%.
But Ben, what is the future of hydro in a country where Galamsey is destroying almost every river body, almost every water body? Sa dam ni ebekwa kwayo river benso.
Oh, I think the Energy Commission and the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition are your feasibility studies for some time now on some of these rivers across the country. Until now, 2025 budget now, they were specific, very categorical, and emphatic that 35 mini hydros we built. And that time, Nona Galam say air cost, which means your feasibility study. So when Babia was building these mini hydros, they know. And they also know that these mini hydros are not impacted by Galamsey. And this information here is to feed into our investment plan and how we price electricity in Ghana. But send the American car, PRC akoye juma ko bia opese otiti aduane hye utilities in some without looking at the inefficiencies of the system, because me hwe mo statement no kra na me no ka say system losses based on 2024 data system losses is about 27%. PRC catches system losses today is around 24%. And our projection is that by 2030 we'll be around 21%. It has never been so.
Well.
Right? And this argument has been the position of these utilities. Abrium Pescano, or Muma is Cana, the better system losses. So, what is Ganishan in some system losses?
And that brings me unfortunately to my last question, which has to do with reforms ahodwa na ye expected, especially within the service provider ECG. On the onset of this government, yet mismanagement in same bebre course or ECG. Contracts ahodwa a ball mine cap, the way our system no leaky omo ntimi nje omo revenues omo administrative expenditure kra no ebro investment omo aye in improving on electricity provision. And one would have thought said the energy minister by now would have initiated reforms bianchi who said ECG is changing, it is setting up, and there is a shake-up. From where you sit, are you convinced and satisfied with what may be happening? And I don't know until I use that word, what may be happening within the ECG in terms of reforms are particularly a be plug a hole see a debiara the utility companies see it me kako PRC hono mo kokope into moon.
If I make I say, first of all, no, the first reform has to be about our electricity market, regulation and MYN. So if there's going to be some form of liberalization of the market, within even an integrated model, I think the so that a buy no be trust will say, and here we pay. Who we are, Greco should be the transmitter, and we get distributors, and that has been our position. And I think earlier, no. Nanke per se a government position, but I said position is Chiakakra, the India makers are about we ba Shasiano or the energy to Muse or privatize distribution. Emma or started a lot of initiatives, but which that was started in the 2025 budget. So, your distribution of power, no, you bet system are liberalizing a kakra. Private sector participation, and in that, a buying like committee, or committee, committee output, and also more outcome. They say, was a year apply multi-year leasing. A buying the country and say, or co-parliament, or co-lay airline, so that this airline between me and my asset, 2025 for term. And we've not heard any comment from government. Say be a person this January. The seriousness now by the shares, as a swati. Until I make us a dear now buying the policy position in terms of private sector participation in our distribution system. You see, reform and said my now two. Apart from say, yes, I reform the institutions themselves need reforms. Most of the gentlemen and most of the guys are not more frivolous procurement so under declaring of revenue to cash water fund mechanism and the payment of revenue to beneficiaries of cash water fund mechanisms. You're still there. I buying and prosecute Obi. I buying and Obi. I buying and cast my interdict Obi. Said more time and now more these managerial officers, more time. And I said you might be way to see more I buying a movie as so if you tell me say I buying a committed to solving wastage at ECG, then you wouldn't need. Most of the guys are still there.
On that note, unfortunately, let's leave it here. Me don't say we any bra wenya we when in chechemu or the aboa a support you komodi. EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Even in my debate yesterday, I indicated clearly that I am against the zipline contract. I am against the zipline contract. You cannot spend 170 million Ghana cedis that you are sending blood to health facilities using drones. The Ministry of Health should have bought their own drones by now. You can't continue spending that kind of money that you are paying a service provider. It's a total waste of money. The Ministry of Health should have bought their own drones. After all these years, the zipline contract I recall was signed somewhere in 2021. Can you imagine every year if we are spending 170 million Ghana cedis? 170 million Ghana cedis, so that they will go and drop blood in some village and then come back. Meanwhile, there's road network leading to almost every town, every community in this country. There are only few locations that you will say the roads are not accessible. That money could have tied the roads to all those locations that we are concerned about. And Ghana Health Service could have bought their own drones and done their own deliveries anytime they need to do a delivery. How much is a drone? How much is it? Some drones are as cheap as $4,000, $5,000. The most expensive drones don't even go beyond $10,000, $20,000. By now, we would have had drones for every district in this country, managed by Ghana Health Service. Let's go and do a total calculation of how much money we have wasted on this zipline contract. I call for a cancellation of the contract. The contract should be cancelled. Ghana Health Service should develop their own in-house capacity to deliver the blood through their own drones. And we would cut costs enormously. So please, that is my personal view of the matter.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Nia Dr. Cancer, NDC by Omanya Mwampala. Now intervention grant allowance. Some find the after school program. A day before school. No one from Mwampala. She said, now, sir, your babu from now from Usika before the Ababano. We are for now with scan, we put you up for extra classes. Your buying a baby. Yɛmpɛsɛ ohiani nso ɛbɛtena hɔ no nkɔ extra classes ɛne atwa sika teachers ɛma headmasters nya bi even cooks ɔmo school nya bi sɛ ɔmo mfa mo ankwalaa no na ɔmo prepare ɔmo for the exam ɛne this for ɔba nso ɔmo ntua ɔmo professional allowance ɔmo ntua ɛna nsɔhwɛ nkwalaa ɛkɔyɛ yɛ a wofa borɔfo kasa enipa nan bi a mathematics enkonta we enipa nan bi a emu baako enya F ahomte eno kyerɛ yɛn sɛ sɛ ɛba na ebesi ebu country no ɛsɛ saba bio ne ɛbɛto adwuma no so ne ɛsɛ ebu ɔman no menim sɛ MPP na yɛ nneɛma kɛse sɛ Ghana bɛsi saba yɛ ɔman kɛse a ɛbɛyɛ MPP
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Place bi a oma grade swa into the grade akwa o ko say grade no esa wo de your friend is saying latrite ekogu so na wutimi ayusu ansana wutimi fa grade no nkosi okeke na normally wutimi fa grade no nko a esa wo de anu abegu so say nso to na wanya careful na say adwuma wa na yeko zero nti ahihye.
But for a lot of residents, almost someone say major intervention in my drip machines in Chaso Kakra.
Oh yeah, and then I mean
trouble Kakra.
That is it. In fact, and then America say a no crantina in Shisheni na ya in Shisheni na area. Menoka say some of the communities maybe to start with some more issues we bring.
Okay.
But we saw issues we bring Mambrook area, Asia baby. More issues we bring. Na issues on drip na e bit me use ni grade na akoya no na make say nsuo no consistent nsuo na eba ntina na ama e delay na yeso nsuo bes ye behwe na oba ko twa kwan no so awie na nsuo ba bes ne de esa o monitor ne ye kakra nti ye adwen say instead of waiting ye the drip machines be ye a lot of the desilting ti I desilting ne bebre ana kwan ne bebre aye mo trouble drinks ne bebre ekosisia the next phase and say obema drip machines na aye some small touches na ewo and
because honestly you were being accused by some of your residents for Facebook.
Okay,
ahead of this conversation I wanted to find out how amanfo hunu adwuma awudie ni complaints some more.
Yeah,
and I realized that in kofobi in some more against you ni say drip machines no won fancy esi kwan ne mumu no gata nkwan na ade yim.
Oh,
and for some of them they feel say all limit the benefits are drip machines ni betimi dia brɛ wo mo because omuhunu say drip machines you got them but the kwan na machine ankasa sisuo na you got them na kwan ni mu asai.
okay.
Meanwhile close to 4 different equipments are obetimi deploy about kwan no so aye bit more trouble.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying.
Thank you, Bibi. And internet make sure say one say project today and yes say oh sorry I know your project. We be your assessment, we your working in we be time your time e dey kwan sport improvement. We to call all over yɛni na yɛwɔ time a wobɛhyehyɛ a wɔde yɛ ana yɛwɔ time a yɛde free drains wobɛhu sɛ time a nsuo tɔ no nansi nsuo bi tɔ yɛ adwambu video meyi kyerɛ wɔ bɛn wɔn ɔhɔ na meka sɛ storm drain no enti sɛ edu time na yɛ sɛ wobie kwan no and wɔn sɛ yɛ kwan no bebree na yɛ sɛ no ɛyɛ drains no drains na yɛ correct no because owó drain that is it enti sɛ mewɔ machine na sɛ yɛ sɛ mede yɛ kwan no na sɛ mehwɛ na drain no cause problem to the road I have to clear the drain
because we are kwan na nsuo no bɛsa
kwan no in fact wokɔ baby te sɛ zamama like say kwan no bi da hɔ no ma drain wɔ hɔ deda wo ba nsuo sɛ kwan no na kyerɛ sɛ drain no ɛntimi and discharge nsuo nso bebree na wohu no drains no bebree na ɛwɔ sɛ one make sure sɛ drains no yɛ correct a wobɛwie no wode nsuo no a wowɔ expect ɛba bɛsɛ kwan no ɛwɔ hɔ nti ɛyɛ timing and me use saa kwan we akyerɛ ekyia yɛ consultant ni na sɛ yɛnyɛ yɛ adwen sɛ ɛnyɛ sɛ yɛahyɛda sɛ yɛnyɛ kwan no anaasɛ yɛn use machines no machines ni yɛ use me no kasa sisi ayi 2-3 days ago yɛafrɛ a ɔmo siesie ɔmo yɛ maintenance on the grader enti yɛn kwan machine no yɛ use ni na we sɛ maintenance no kra du a yɛn fɛn di agro kra enti grader no yɛbɛba hɔ ɛnɛ me no kasa yɛ sanko around because yɛahyehyɛ nti nhyehyɛ na yɛyɛ no in a way say by the time your friends and grade no bɛba bɛyɛ adwuma no na most of the drains no solved
me do call few
okay
residents ni bi wɔ with regards to roads your roads is so ntimi pɛ sɛ utie wa onkrofo ni bi ne omo concerns with regards to roads Joy say why you ready let's share the video with our Facebookers na into some of the concerns
Mama shakwa mo beya mo fast be e kwan nye nti say driver dey do so no hu kwan na so ma to be oyi ne ma ne kwa mu ansa na wato obi abɔ ne pa na asesa ne ma na ba no cha je sire mo kwan die mu aye wai na mo meye mai wada correct ye ko be bia na e fa drop ya onya bɔ loso park down Mavio sport obi o so on ba Obi also instead of 20 cities so be 30 so be penedia just here omumma nti anu say my brepa nti say mo amohwe sere mu na mu fa so ba ya mo poli no asisa mo pa me 5 times go down in fact kwan we dey enye kwan na say fiti da nti yenye obi a obetumi abaye ma ye dey e be da nyame ase okay so to a high power nti mi fa ka ku fi pa
okay pacho area no mo boy no nim ho
menim ho yie papa na on say emi de se wo bo ni na mpɛ sɛ wo bo ni na
okay
because
ne me woni
o de woni o aka baako na mpɛ sɛ wo bo no so kan ba o de no problem ya be ansa ne say ya
na se wo hu da
o me hu video no
okay
and ya da omo so omo akyerɛ omo adwen na ase na won sɛ omo baako na o kyerɛ na adwen baako san kai o sɛ kwan no de da
enye nne
nti won sɛ they themselves they appreciate the issues nti enne no yɛn in aban papa na aba no
okay
yɛbɛyɛ saa kwan we ɛyɛ kwan a yɛka ho a yɛapeke ɛnyɛ sɛ obi na ɛbɛ show ansa na no ɛyɛ kwan a yɛapeke deda the thing is say amanfo ɛyɛ sɛ ebi mu te ase sɛ governance no ɛyɛ structures ɛyɛ timing ɛna na me kyerɛw sɛ yɛntimi anyɛ dreams baby a ɔmo kan sɛ wɔntimi anyɛ
what's a hakra gatas ni ha
enti no on say these are places are ina aka yɛ in fact sɛ me yes me start sɛ me kɔ yɛ nneɛma no abehu nti enya sɛ bibi a yenim yɛte hɔ yɛne ɔmo ana te hɔ nti enim ana sɛ deɛ ɔka no nso so many years ni but NDC deɛ yɛn abasi ebisiesie ɔmo ani and as a municipality I can assure all of them say yɛn gye obi emfim yɛbɛyɛ ne yie ama ɔmo na ɔmo ho atɔ ɔmo sisi anso na gyae as we speak no krapo no yɛyi baby bebree ɔhɔ deɛ no ɛka sɛ I think sɛ ɔhɔ ka December side deɛ ho but then yɛ start a ebehu say aden the needs ne nti na yɛhwɛ nti no yɛhwɛ na sɛ yɛtumi wie se deɛ plans na ti a yɛbɛba ɔmo so in fact ɛyɛ adeɛ bi a I can assure residents say Honorable Abdul Latif Dan enemy as MC we will not relent on our effort in making sure so be develop or any cool school me cool school.
You were born and bred there.
Yeah, me go school Elta.
Okay.
Me school GSS Elta.
Okay.
Central University so na me university.
Okay.
Me no ka say my sorry for 30 years. Enti no baby a yin na etia names issues no. Na as a municipality no we would make sure say we work on it. I know Ablekuma Central for me say yin na yatena issues we mu ache. But mama worry cry aban papa ba. Ye be ni ama bibi akoso.
So far wo bae. Edi ani den na betimi de onse susu se me ye free kwan mu ana me gusu ye.
Okay, be da se bebre we ema ye ba ye dwumedi a ye di ayo assembly ho. Okay, so when say ye bae no during this you started juma around May.
Yeah.
May 12 exactly. And for me, you know, I have various engagement because when say as a municipality, you know, you anticipate to say central government, minister starting ejuma keke.
Yeah.
You do a lot of stakeholder engagement. Intimeno ka say I've met the business community, South Industrial area, me meet Abusukan Association, no, meet spare parts for no ho. In fact, the last time I buy ho, say me block ho from 6 to 12. Emma, the whole of Abusukan cleaning ho. Me meet traditional leaders, me meet religious leaders, just trying to get their involvement in the community development. Me meet even Okada riders. Me meet you.
Because almost homo.
Yeah, me meet you. Me know ka say last week me ni mechanics our community name. They have more than 15,000 mechanics in the area because of our so kind. Me meet you almost needs. And then my general assembly is actually call for bar. You be say kiki way. My sign meet Takradi station for my invite meet na as a whole. My sign meet various other small businesses just in the development process. Because one, say development because we try and do needs assessment. Near who baby needs in a way bit me abo. Nti you inherit a legacy project. One legacy project a school be what salvation. Those is now a friend 12 and 13. And you inherit under salvation. Yeah. Me no kase akase ye be commission keke and then you're signing for equal rounds say the abo video and check at the end of the year you have documentation you can say you brochures we so what we've done from that time from January many MP na up to December e be show na out you be send also video ni bi yeah no one na ejuma nti school no wo ho a legacy project
school mo aye ne den mo si
Messi. A legacy project. Okay, so my main chair we now say kakra. On say among for.
Because I can one say, "Oh, by you, we shall say May, me boy." Now between May and November,
we school there. They want to say, yeah, as an assembly, no, any omampini John Dramani Mahama. Okay, say on pese, you better say, ya no ma, we start project a we jaho because I'm better. Nti me no ka say 20% of your common fund obia the whole Ghana 20% echo into only legacy project here project Kuda ana
Kuda is Coastal Development Authority.
Northern Development Middle Belt even project community nankasa start when we you continue with that nti be two eno back salvation am making a legacy project and me no ka say ya completing and be commission in fact you be next week be commission
na ejuma ben na aka wo ho
ejuma de bebre in fact you buy no structures ni bebre no omunye your friend is screening ni a lot of compassion no omunye story building ya ye ni na wie me no ka say and then aka fans for of the beshim not just a school stealing funds there's a 9-unit school no now you're saying here
and what the 20% of your DACF and a complete
and so that component 20% is going to legacy projects until every project a legacy project would be that's it
so my clarification kakra so 20% you know we spend it on just this project and I said the number of other legacy projects
spending spending so just so the percentage of 20%, you know, of that the common fund going to legacy project.
And only directive accounts can hold
and this is the
because how do you can being see that
it.
Yeah, this was common fund and call with guidelines as to all this can be
exactly into your time you won't say and yet to set it now the common fund nipa back you see why this guy is no. Be sanitation 10%, water resource 10%, administration me as a municipality your administrative expense. And administration, you have traditional programs, ceremonies, all those things coming in 5%. Model market, 25%. 24-hour market, 25%. And sana sanitation, 10%.
10%.
Who send it 10% so going to health, 10% going to education. And that's me bobo man. Now we say NDC there. Yam media grow, so water facilities and also 10%. Inti ya sheshe ni sikani na inti u sikana ote yati hono. To because MCs need this guy. Ya na esreke. Who say aban we nya aban. In fact, project be you need commitment authorization. From the Ministry of Finance. Inti aban we there.
Even after you this basis kanama also some authorization.
You need it. Inti me no ka say you need authorization is here. First project be no how best start to Ghana hanuma only commitment authorization because the reason is we don't only want to initiate projects, we want to complete them. So as I speak with you as an assembly, Sukura Sukura honum say your dedicated project or yes Sukura market. Me no ka say I award the contract no. The person will finish it 8 months.
Wow.
That is it. From day one, 8 months.
What kind of market now 8 months you see?
And so your market no order that. Yeah, one block. One block. If you are best sign B, the other extension no. So it's the block na no. 8 months essentially per year between 8 to 12 months so we your school so Adwembu area your first school back. I was so can you or hono so and also project and send the so we MP STT hospital be so. Yeah, maternity block and also as ye nti ya hyehyɛ nneɛma no nti me mpɛsɛ me divert from a question no salvation ye sawe na ye ba be commissioning no uko blacksmith ye lati be okɔ electoral area na nso a ɔhɔ se ye wo ICT and then library bi wɔ hɔ nom and also ye atwen commission
sa legacy school project and my mesan phone ko kakra bi because of some of the sentiments I'm picking from municipality. Maybe say, propaganda with that school project. Meaning say if it is that particular school project, because I saw a picture of a completed school. The indication is that Obaye no abe from scratch. And people say, propaganda with that. But what church you say a project abe to ya ni wie and obaye you say free.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, baby, baby, I already had an baby back up. You know, pon amebodi natural, and politics and 12 point something. I'm 19 plus. I'm in fact,
almost 20.
Almost mean case 20 but 19 plus, yeah.
That's good money.
Good money, very, very good money. And you will see it. Yeah, bunny accounting for it. Yeah, money yet to say I grew, Obia who said the humanity. Anna, member Renfi. Say me pomin to me in Trevor said that NDC are buying Yashisha. Into 19 point something, and yes, cow, Minam Kitako Trezemico. Yeah, war guideline. Some percentage you we and the association in another. Menoka say project now can say may invite too. Actually, so our first, 2nd December, a bear shortcut, massive one. Wow. Menoka say your water facilities, also, yes, Sucre, by that time, grab a banana road, so your sons so unique. I'm always say, into this are things Ablikman Central, Baby Crab.
So the initial question is, Obaye, Diana, what the one saka, Diana, where you a free hormone or any Diana out to us. So you started with this legacy project. What more?
Salvation, Macan ICT, Macan Library, no. Menoka say Yankasa a bridge be so between Latabio Koshi and Manbrook. Or IB her side, and also a car commission in Ibe, and also and look at the IGF near the that is it.
Within these few months.
Within this few years, may buy an near the cow, the salary cut 3 months. Wow. Because you training Navy salary be in October salary a bit here.
Now, assembly workers.
Yeah, buy and near the workers car.
Administrative staff and as
workers, IGF staff. IGF staff near the Omoka 3 months. You and Kakeo. That's not double salary because not salary in 400 and something.
Oh, how?
400 and something near the cow. Yet tax.
Okay, you mean what the number car more than about 400,000 plus?
I mean the salary of some of the staff. IGF staff
400 Ghana cedis.
Yes, sweepers. Yes, sweepers are not 400 and something. Oh, say over 13 nipa na ewie no. take home no.
Oh wow.
You buy a double no. And so you end
How much 8?
Yeah, 800. Almost so many na almost no much 400. Ya double am no in that proportionate. Inti you buy na nya say yet okay. Ya IB project na you go so canvas for enche. Me no ka say you be code digital system no na your revenue na ko na yetimi ama short pools na ewo ma man for jejeje sika na yewe ye ko building so omo si dan e wo kwan mu omo si dan a omo ni permit na ma ye be ko
na me baby because of the location of Abuso Kainti Fita 4 ewo area hopa.
Yeah.
Now I see a lot of indiscipline as well. Say nkofo dan street no so mechanic shops. And now omu tutu cars ase wo ho eye car ya ekwan ya boka e de aye na ye tu na e bi engine oil na gu kwan no so enchebo na kwan na start tutu me busa we dia ka e de akwakobusa me revenue generation question say sika assembly ne etiminya every month obaye etesen e wo form a na me busa say ene wo ka wo revenue opportunities bebre e de na what's the outlook like for your revenue generation?
Okay, in fact, your revenue, we have opportunity to expand. And Osha, you buy asset now.
Yeah.
The whole of this year, Nanka projected revenue, no, and I'm 5 million.
5 million.
You know, because you are close to 4.8.
When they say you're almost done.
But 5 million, no, and you may target.
Fine target.
It's a way them better projected revenue and better into this year.
Okay.
Me no me baby you be do I bet me a double 5 million. In fact, you bet triplicating.
Wow.
And and
I know you have the potential to make that.
I know we'll get there.
Okay.
On say in project management no kasa na nsa na obekasa na eso hihye onyo mani na.
Okay.
And then me wa ha me mpese metna ha ye propaganda. The ye say you be too nhihye bi a ebe ma revenue loopholes within the assembly usually na leakages na doso and the in a way I bet me a close leakages we ni na
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Soy Yama Mwakwaba, Enfamra, EpaHoaDaben Jumadieni so Akasimadu, Amanom Sabo, and Evier, Enka, Ewose, Bismark Brown, and Ne, and out here, and Evia, Nemumene, Bribinti, and Timia Mama Kansa. Then Panin forecasting be said, Seven, Yedijawa near the Aswau, Inti, Yasi, Etre, and Tia Yenya, Echeswa. And into the area, Yatana say, dear EpaHoaDaben Jumadieni Ebrewo. Live on Happy 98.9 FM. Mayamfa and Asikasia Enfama, the entire production team. Joel Sanko, Jemima Adato, and Abigail Dankwa. Abigail Dankwa, now to Apetin Abefuntin Tankesi and so. It's your name, baby Abefabi Abefuntin Tankesi and so on. Obehunu yati yanka na wonso wonsam a wo no wo de ato ho e de man ye bedi hu nkoma na awia yi ene eye edwada the 8th of December 2025 December boso mene de toso baako enwotwe ensam ahodo no a na adi ahim e wo man Ghana mu ha adi ahim e wo abibima mu ha nipa dodo no a e bobo hu Minim sir over the weekend what ye another coup attempt your course so ewo Benin minim sir UTB minim sir ode waso e de akire minim sir ode wani e de akire u bisa wo ho sir Ghana yenso edien e na wo se ye yo according to one more womo ekotu sasa no womo e kire mu a dwumadia womo di ye no nyina wie peyo e de ma won Sanso and Afambie, Edia to Jase, Sansam no more air canning in Anadia and crack. Dear Anna a coba yentia, Emma Asraf way, a two sana moi. Say, oh, ba, wo may, and I will ba a be my moi. Now will share at Toya Famu, come fini famu, a call a year a poya famu. Kopiamu anafo efamu a efri emfiem pimienu ene aduonu be ya baako no ano ebepim emfiem pimienu ni aduonu no mi ku ahodo a akoso e wo Sub-Saharan Africa enko ano no eko be ye enkron na mamenka wo se ne dodo no ano de eye abibiman atoye efam eha mekire West African Sub-Region ena sa eye asrafo a won etuo aban aguo no dodo no akoso se ebia wurafia mamema onkae kakra ukopiemu Burkina Faso ukopiemu Mali ukopiemu Niger ukopiemu Guinea ukopiemu Guinea Bissau ukopiemu ewo eye Benin dia koso enreya na trese kamia ese beye asrafo atuatia wo motie ewo aban ayato abayi won so no de emu beye nsia anase nson no ewo abibiman atoye efam ha eno ene ye tena se ebusi ho se ewo se ye ma ye yam hihye yen se o man ana anase ye betimi atena ho aka se yen kabima min kabia mamuo no agin hini enti anya de abribisa ebetumi ama ne homene so omanyi adana di pefe se enya de a asra ban anase asrafo a wo mu ekwa akotu aban ni padodo no ato abayi won waguo no won sososo aban na dana di pefe se mo beka ya enche bia de ekoso November bosomere de toso aduonu nsia e wo Guinea Bissau no Foreign Affairs Minister Ora Samuel Okujato Ablakwa ba Montreso edebatu dwa se Ghana ye kasetia the akoso ewo Guinea Bissau no sanso e na abeka ye bra na nana adedanko Akufo-Addo waye mampanyini de akoso ewo Niger Mali Burkina Faso no e yade a oman yi ade ano December 2 dwa ye kire mu adan na de pefe se enya de a yesoso asra abanso esanse if you are to go back into history, the West African sub-region has seen a lot of military coups, military interventions ahodo. We've had a bit more about one more say they came to salvage the situation. But the Korea no and yes and net yet. There were bit more who rode on the sentiments of the people. Send the Paduano Ekase Omanumu Asitrano and yet. There were people who leveraged insurgencies. One more at Yatidom Kwahudo, Afa Mukronum FMB. One more say one Asraf one original, one no bet me abua, Akun, Etia, et Yatidom Kwahudwa, one among Muhammedeso, or Mungrahudu no. There are people who came and said, say, the level of elitism. That is any Pakuma be and on my four minor Edia Shom Samo. And I won't etre near was set or mine to me yo. Ama ni padu no enya or mine were Japadian son faswo. And unti and almost sorry here ekutia. Abaya to duano to aba ediayi one. Even Muzu by said womu etremu said they want to cut ties with their colonial masters. And unti and asa etiatiano akoswono. And see say oh far. Kusa hodwo a akoso ewo abimamu no a dodo no a no obia wo nyina so a wodi etu sa anamon no nemom wonum a womu enim de ewo ahobambo ensemu ewo abiman emu wonum a womu nim de ewo eye aman eni aman enkita hodie mu o mekire people who are well versed in diplomacy won so edo madwenkire etudwa Matisa ora prof Vladimir Entwidanso edna no disem de atudwa ewo de ekoso ehu se obekaya na otwetwa mu na haya yetenase ana yedi nkomo edefa kuwa ekoso ewo Guinea Bissau no ho na menim se bia Jemima o that particular voice no a ora Paul Boateng na asemo ana oka se yanhwe yi a enkonkopem Be 2030 dear. Na abibiman ato FM ha dear. Amaya hodo no ano na ya srafo eni diso. People are calling for say yenyi ECOWAS emfam free ho because ECOWAS enya de obon homodin. Dodo no adwene kire se so hwe ECOWAS eya kusa hodo asisie ewo abibiman ato FM. Now, the actions taken by ECOWAS here. Come here, say, I'm going to pay, and I say, I'm fancy some superbia, I'm famre. A man for who do a crew who do so, and a sa asra for it me too, a son. But there is a worrying trend, and this worrying trend, and an AVA, the person who you need to come kakra. The worrying trend, and they say, come here, says, say no. Amaya hodo no a asrafo timi ekokobo wuramu etu aban a yato abayi no won sosa anase wotu aban eguo no nipa dodo no ano age atum anase nipa dodo no ano eje atum and yenya over the past 3-4 years yenya a propaganda machine a espiwi eniema e kire se look. Military intervention is good. Mema example, Abekwa Piemu El Burkina Faso. And I'm not saying say Bibia, Nadia Bibia El Koso Burkina Faso. But Obadiah say it is difficult for us to identify the reality from the figment of people's imagination. Just here. It is difficult because journalists are not able to independently verify sɛ ensɛm ahodoɔ a bɛtɔ mmɔntene soɔ no ne nyinaa na yɛ nokorɛ anaasɛ ebi yɛ nokorɛ ebi ɛnyɛ nokorɛ. And it is because of the fact that abere biara coup besie biara no there is control of information, and so there is what we call information asymmetry, which sharply occurs when there is a coup. Now, the leadership anase ekuo no a wɔn ekokotu aban ne guo no, they try to restrict the flow of information. Sɛnea maybe wɔ ha yakata so nya de yɛn hunu. Enti whatever it is that is going on, enya de ado ne kuro twa wisi ehunu bie. So there is nothing like probity, there is nothing like accountability, there is nothing like obesia transparency as to sika yenya de sika no de ama wo ho na ba betina bontene no obu ho akonta ne de ka ho no nyina no. Most of the time when coups happen, sa ne ma ne nyina nya de ahunu bie. The systems are yade agu akwan mu mekire the governance system egu akwan mu no nyina no yade a se coup ba pe ne nyina esi, because under the guise of transformation asrafo na won edi sa aban no animu no would want to seize jai sa niema ne nyina ayo esankra niema mu to suit their agenda. That's what we see. I am saying propaganda machine because for the past 3 years, minim says Obekaya, within a year, Enasa Kus Ahudu Nina Ekoso, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Mali, Niger, and the Ekeka Hunina. But a name Osha, on my back, one down there, I come here say, Obia e bonitini e Burkina Faso. And I am not against liberation. I am not against a year say ye pe fahudie, ye pe mpuntuo, ye pe nkoso, e diama a ye nipadodo no ano. But the approach with which that liberation comes, the approach, kwanya sa fahudie ni nkoso ni ye yono eba no. Eno e wose mo me hwe ni ye. If indeed our political systems have not been helping us over a period of time now, and she said, "Gu ehwa, yade nwini oman, yade chichiro oman, yade bu oman, enya dia eboa, eno wose ehwe ne esachira no." Because you see, nobody can tell me say it is a coincidence or it is because say the trend that has happened in the West African sub-region over the past 4-5 years, no. Come here, say, ma aye ebinumu de. But you tienye, me say the trend, akoso. And when I'm talking about trends, I am talking about military takeovers. Akoso, ewo West African sub-region ni mu no. Ma ewura, a mindful binumu etrimu. Se amamu no enkoyi a. The only solution I bet me abua ama amamu no akoyi no military intervention. But that is the thinking of people. Enunti ena se ukokopiemu e Madagascar about a month or 2 ago. Mabunu sorry jinaye. And their thinking was that se omuma aban no woso no efri so a na bia asra aban no eba enema besisa. But say metimi aka to so Madagascar na kokko here. And ask yourself whether enema sisa na se enema sisa. And I mentioned propaganda for a reason. Because Osha the Sahel region no na utien some free ho banning, and I myself sometimes I share some. But sometimes it takes a mre and son of it me who say ampaniampa we no cre and I say we no cre. And that narrative no akoso for the past 3, 4, 5 years no. Ama the do no anu adwene yo say if democracy is failing, the only alternative ni padodo no ebo and said the military should take over. But yan can say magana for any ebimaya won a won agimre 18 na awie nyina no Omontias say the military is not built to govern. The system that builds the military is not meant for governance. And there is no guarantee, Pachotie, the American. There is no guarantee, sir, when the military takes over, things will change. No. There have been reports of human rights abuses at war, the Sahel region. There have been reports of, say, people are forcibly conscripted into the military. There are reports of abuse of press freedom. Also, in Kro Audio Webiso. One more just recently. If the Odwani the international media next year report of how insurgents were terrorizing people. Military takeover. You don't see palpable evidence of development and growth. But the they have variant forms of democracy, no? Variant forms of governance. And yet, asra for an edio minus so and as able minus one that you see say impuntu any marker it make so. But the bigger question is it that as a my kabi mamin kabia mamuo and as a do adwene to amamuo no yen share that entiasia na because you see the point is that kabi mamin kabia mamuo no the end product is set nipano won ewo omani mu no aside from the fact that obetimi akasa ne boso nia ensem opeso obetimi aka eku opeso odno kokodon obetimi de nwakwa akodon ene de ka ho no the livelihood of the person in question and also the livelihood of the people in question must be improved. And so our democracy does not end when voting ends. Our democracy should not end when voting ends. The saddest part, and it's if you come to EpaHoaDaben, our democracy is built around elections. And I'll give you examples. Our democracy is built around the elections. And that is why, everything goes back. Business as usual. One of my mono, ye jam so monkoya duomope. Yanomina e koto aba edema wonwono. Yansu akope baby atena edi ensase edemri famu. Na ye dwene ho. Ebeguegu. So be ni yo, so onye ni yo, emfa ye ho. Obehwa na ebiom the policy bi ba na amanfo binumu ejiri se it threatens our livelihood. We go for demonstration because the constitution allows us to. Ni akoni akwako ye chere ni wia ye hwe ni mu se aban a wote adwaso sabre no obetimi asankra niema mu adiaman but obehwe niema no yontimi nsankra mu na ya tena se ni ayenhwe ha na niema akobone na manfo asetena mu na dan nyina no empuntuo emma mu. That's the summary of our democracy. That's the summary of our democracy. Into umba oman mu a odehwe last year ene ekoto aba meboa every last year ebepem eye sabre no just tell me eniema akakraka atumi asie a ede ensakra kakraka pa aba nipa dodo na brabum and also somebody will come and talk about inflation rate and cost and interest rate and I say in the keke ka ho nanto boasie sansem no yebeka because the impact should be say me na me nka menye ska akra mkotoku miko edwomu a metimi atone ma ahodo e dia kofie but se utie me awie ya enipa miense ben wo no hyeda ene omu di nkomo fafa eye sikasem se de tie ehu na yentie de omu beka enipa miense wo je hyeda busom wo de wa unuanom kra hyeda busom and that's not my point. If one more omu di aman ahodoɔ n'anim wɔ ɔman yi atɔyɛ fam ha. If there is anything to advise them, and only the SCA for the past 5 years, no, the coups are who if there is anything, say a lot of asrafo a won etu aban ahodoɔ no gu ye no, we're talking about say the economic situation in the respective and answer in some of the countries, no, and I'm saying, say, if indeed a bambia person will take a Q, a honor was a bind take a Q, no, from. Because in 2023, in 2024, we had Empenyimfo na won ekasa ediafa say we are also at risk. And emabuna hodo a won eni adwuma yo. Emabuna hodo a won eni adwuma yo, especially ewo oman Ghana mu no. They pose a security risk. They pose a security risk for a year woman Ghana. And so, Obi biara obebe biano. Obi biara obebe biano should ensure see a betimi ama mabunu dudu no ano atimi anya adwuma yo. And tisa ekodrum pempon so bia you cannot control a year mabunu no. And a classical example is what happened in Madagascar. Say bia do any idiot because they were talking about a year, crass corruption, crass, kankai ketashe chrono dreamwa. I said, what do you want to see anymore? Unemployment, a year woman livelihood, or my sister or my brabo, almost said that punto bia, or my sister or my brabo. That's a classical example of what unemployment, of what harsh economic conditions ebe to me ayo. And I am not sure that it is lost on us as mine and as before. So we've seen the Arab Spring which brought reforms in the northern part of Africa. And the belief and say senka mine eman panyin no. You first and foremost take a critical look at a very energetic proportion of your population. The youth. Emebununo. Tiemio, emebununo. If se yansha na yansha, menka he. Nemum, there are people who are saying that we should be concerned. As of mine, said the Ecoso, Yetifi Efamu, Apoye Efamu, the Ecoso, we must be concerned because spillovers need be able to me akain. Others are saying, say, Oshe said the Ghana, Yati Dodo Adjune Tua Amamuna Sienua, Ayajatum Precopeno. Enu kwan sɛ ayamhyehyɛ bia ɛkan esan sɛ yɛn no yagyeatum sɛ mfie nan bia no yɛbɛhwɛ na yakɔ akɔto aba na yayi mampanyini foforo anaasɛ yama mampanyini a wɔte soɔ no akwanya sɛ ɔntɔnkɔ so na wɔne ne dwuma. And that democracy has come to stay ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana mu. People are saying that because of history, near Yafomo paying into a lot are not ready. Say besan ko near Yafomo paying no emuesan say ebe chinyem puntuo and I see a cancro and I see the gains we have made so far in the past 3 decades you're returning to democratic rule ewo maimono ebe chino asan amana ako echiri. Now, Obibebusa say if indeed we want to ensure and protect our democratic gains, what lessons are we learning from the Akoso ewo ebimaya hodoɔ no a asrafoɔ atu abanya yato abayi wɔn aguo no? What are we learning? Ɛdeɛ ne yɛsua ɛde afiri ho. Should we be scared? and I say it should be business as usual. You better do a name him a year a brand here friend. And you're not bony, the only bony day.
Kwajo Fusu Apia.
Kwajo Fusu Apia.
Yeah. But me do me kunya fie dia. Your friend will not Fusu.
Okay. Okay. Nana Fusu.
Yeah.
Yo. Akwaba.
Who kunya fie dia friend say?
What's your friend say? I'm Pim Dankwa.
Mo. Why are there? Why actually we chikakra?
Said the way na then
said the way that could be a cancer be our who say or this year and our nene casano.
Okay.
So will be a while. Ebia who say woody pan intino. Now this year no woman one of quabi. Hey, how you need that? He can't be deep panji. The paddy and Yana paddy for funny maybe charm binum.
No crack.
But
no crack.
Ebia, Okasha, where your friends say, Uncapone, O Ahimwa, and no Ahenema,
show a henema, I don't petty as
yes. No more, and she are now my mushroom. Who's a wakasapi, no crescent, and the Emmy they say Cassadimon. O ma, and fatu who be brave. A fuss, a yana, your tiger is a see two are buying gua. The found you by Antissa. See you two are buying Gua. I shall see dear, and you say Bobby Ba, one no more, or would you two say, if you are buying and your ma way and more. But I know just say a dear Sumbiaba.
No crack.
Sabrina mus your uncle 4 months on a jitum say,
dear course one in yet.
And yet, I dear be a far a year a straff word you may honor. And towards the enemy. And until they can say force, army force, and Kaze, it is army services. In Corona, air services, no, your mouth contracts.
Yeah.
And the whole person has over to a contract, no, say renew. But I had an army force in Tino Sabia, a retirement now, Professor Woko and so would be Ghana for it won't come. Say, yet, normal retirement, no beer, be been 2%. Ucha retirement suit yawa na we twaso eno no kra na nya wo pem na mu chiro ko na yare ya ma
kwan yeah
hwe na me share regions do countries say regions in the South West African
sub-region yeah
yes the emphasis say countries 16 countries na me bisa anglophone countries yes
5 yeah
out of 16 just 5 Ghana and Nigeria grade try ye ne francophone countries no
of course. The over Ghana,
yes,
and some ever say the eastern part of Ghana.
Yeah,
Togo, Benin before you get to Nigeria.
Yes, Burkina Faso,
Obasroha,
yes,
Burkina Faso,
Benin,
Mali, Niger,
yes.
Benin were eastern part. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. What they call Senegal and Jemuse, and some are Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Sierra Leone, Liberia. And a can't a brofo. No, I call the Gambia.
Yes.
The Gambian so a camp brofo kakra. Nigeria bum. Tiemfana say, Yanuma a camp brofo. West African sub-region, ye be 5. Yeah.
Out of 16
countries.
Yes. West Africa.
Yeah. Omba kanina no. Do don't know a francophone country.
Now, so I observe ya. Could it that no coso ewo? Sa francophone countries.
Yeah, no cray.
A just a policy of assimilation now. And nay, France for. Adapt ya omudi atena ho abedu sabre no ya enei omo mo biema ye the freedom the amount no enko omo team papa
no cray
because e wako baby ti say Togo akọ Benina ya tu ade mu omo ntia ase
yeah
je wa ya do tu ne
basa
yeah light bills utility bills ne ade no strategic plans na omo dia tu no kra na omo ye ni in some way bi a oman for ne nhye dan ho because no obi ente no so otimi twitu otimi twisekan na o de seniema it is obeya de bia na ese yi eno sa danche a unim France ema omo foundie no ama omo foundie sa o for instance before I first say you said to dum bia kro na o din kan ten no omo friends Guinea
yeah
Now, most of our companies owe allegiance to France.
Yeah.
Yeah, which are tax direct to France.
Yes.
I didn't yet. What you mind? Make us a good time in your Bama church and maybe I say. What you mind? Now companies are kesiye. Tax system. So call France or na France at Vias Abra mine. Every a chance of Marcus and Omo shed our muddy or moon, the Bomon shed and the Omo ye. And most of these countries, so our countries, no more companies should not be owned by the citizens of that country. And at the area when they say, being an opportunity to fair so Burkina, for instance, before the coming of this, now call even air call Omankasa, a friend is saying, Omahi Fia and answer Impono Sa, Burkina Fifino. Wagadugu, no futuro,
yeah, futuro.
Futu acquiring the dead, the whole
yeah.
Eti menche mu ya to send Ghana and kebi alcohol Flagstaff House. A road from Medina down to Flagstaff House, and I say imputed 7 hospital. Ubehu ufutru. A road from your friends at Kaukudi Bano along somewhere ubehu ufutru. And that is ama eno omudidi omu free France no. Pepensua omu akodru. Eti eche wo say omunya afa ahudie die na nso omu ne omu pi. But the other name say France as a country. Any a minor omu de omu free omu say France na. Oma omu total freedom. 30 to 40% of anyama omu ye ko omu gold, oil, anyama ewo ho a ebema corona progress bia omu ho. But the other name say a minor mpanimfo ne ba. No omu so de omu ho ama omu. Omu develop omu. For instance, Cote d'Ivoire, who's a field that could be so bad.
Yeah.
Share, not Babu Diso. And a Babu here and against okay, at a point, who saw more mining developing. Etienne, or not so bad, I said, your France for back and shed any day.
Yeah.
Tomo two abano, Edru baby no say, or not so winning. Your friends say, alas, I knew Watara. So are winning. Not France is derby. Because of said Babu anti Massamasi Pint, remember what? Last ani Watara. Eno ye ya no mo jere no kai. Omo ko chi no, sabe omo yi na tade ne ne jere ese omo dodge no dom kotu. Ba se ku bi a wakoso mayhem. Wakoso atrocities. Nanka e subject to treason. Ni ade wo man mu no. After years, omo say ja no. And the omo back in na ono so be di o man no so no. As of now, wakoso 4 times. Me one ke 2 times.
Yeah.
And he's even thinking of making himself a lifetime president.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, this was the same Alassane Ouattara. Ono fi se gbagbo di su 2 terms. The 3rd term na no pa kono. Na nye etiamra. Eti o man to kwesi ime amanfo bi wu ye yutwa binom ye gigi mbemani binom made mani ade wo mo sika mfuo mu kwa so de ade omo go centers ye gu companies. Emma oman no sabre no me kai pa se koto multi TV wo ya muso kuro ba bi na sabe me demand ye chie ko e uti mu se sabre no na ntokwa no ejire mu na afi na ebete no na wo kwa omomonte so ye hali se obehu eni padodo so omo kan bu because we gina 4 or 5 ye se mo dwene bone they likely say military and na say either obehu babu and na say Alassane Ouattara military omo ta citizens and instability ba ho progress and as a development retarded because idea among mienu nipa mienu no mo twe mo fast forward Alassane Ouattara now want to make himself your friends a lifetime president and he's serving
what change the constitution
yeah he's serving the interest of France. It is say no France if he say at the end of the day the onyawo friends say on mining penny for hunti ni kwa say or interfere on my first but this is Babu at a point on also fee say there be France in ma say ya dia ho de ba nyama a o de share so no doso me ka be si say French countries no kwaya France e manipulate wo mo na de sa nyama ne ba and sometimes these countries are behind Bako. So at a point omu no mu say baby I do no ya man na ebo and I say mpo no Bako for didi do na akofa chaos apa military for na enei almost ko feli wo Benin na me bisa me ho say ya ma me gidi say a foil here because one So we go private TV station. Now, now say, "Oh my no, you're mind penny and you're no correct." Wouldn't be because officially a GDC or minor math is
the national television.
Yes, it is what now? In the first place, cool now omo now they don't know what they were doing. Because to capture a private TV station and a radio station and announce the two of mine, it is like telling your fans 7 previous a Ghana happy FM maybe in TV no abijna akasa. It is like telling a GBC say Sabra na can GBC tentem a ami na almost we park aban ejina wa almost we announce say intisa, so they should remain resolute. Minim say afeli kwan bi aso mo arrest bi. And those people, it's likely Omumba on TV. Because the moment you try a coup and you fail, and you say life imprisonment, and I say, maybe crap because
you be execute, yeah.
You coup and free. But what is this to say? Military action say coup no enya de papa. But they do be been so a bois a mind binum. For instance, Burkina Faso, now we know say improvement about mining. Oshe Abrantia ni 202 ono kra de ndie and say sit down coup for the president. Wa anya ne bone. But e den a within coup no ba ko nte ba amini de kakra omumbu be chentibi a kakra be ba nipa ba ko mienu bi be frim. Ba be fi say Burkina Faso de ohwe say de si koye how peaceful are omo transfer power edema army no, and now the army has been able to cut down some certain things up to the extent say foreign countries now omontine maybe omunya omunya ne ma omope any production being free on now is also rising against these same countries. So what it means say a group have been so as I dey na ma mine munyo. Ghana, any other countries are omo camera for no omo succeed because in recent times the British has been able kwaya omo bilateral relations ekosono. For instance, Britain ijai Ghana at a point ujai no ujai the sikasem man so wa manage sikasem idru baby na ebia won tia say you have to look for foreign aid. We need to also show you kwaya abefa so abeko UN akope usika it your my Ghana it be den ho e kwaya faso ko UN near there again. Countries almost companies almost setting it up kakra no omo bo modern say ebeye in the hands of the citizens and they are buying between e dey on mine no akasa only sa eye factories no. It in this case omo my total freedom because omo just so Ghana companies say there say Britain for a shares wo mu say and so at a point e the near by so hwe ya e ma Ghana most of the cool na see no koye bloody to say say we 79 there no buy no. Yeah bloody kakata. Yeah at a point cool na see from time e two Kwame Nkrumah e dey be banana and koye gidi and said the way mu there no esitie me feel say you do pepper so be a cool should not be a solution. It should be a kind of democracy. Let's judge all. But the truth is that am I penny for who don't know what these francophone countries no and tias here form. Or Montias here pa my penny for Saliton no the one
yeah.
Guinea events they are fairly Benini.
Are you talking about the
Toulon,
the sitting president?
The sitting president.
Yeah, the sitting president in 2021 that's Sam Rano MES Santo Abama and Bill.
Good.
And Utie and someone a year Ura Tigri. Or no any the leader of the Mutinos group. Now all Kanwa. Not all Chirimu say there are signs and I said there are information say a idea Ura Toulon per se or Tanaso as a lifetime president. Which they feel say a nadia will say is again they were saying say Oko northern part of Benina insurgents.
Yes.
Asra for more tier tria ewo minus one. Oko northern Benina a idea ewosro.
Yes.
And it looks as if abandon to me emon no more enya hu bibia. Yeah.
Yes. So in this case, what it means is one, the freedom of others. Nigeria, for instance, So Okoha, northern part now Boko Haram. One said you see harassing, especially Christians. Or say Christian ye Boka mom when I say some bonnet at the moment. A lot of things. So what it means in say a military officer who feels that me free northern part. It is getting worse. Mahumi nuasu wo. Mahumi wo fabi se wo. Adiachia yetimi bechi obi wo onini ni fiefo nyina na abo mutu. Osofo bi ne na nkofo ya asori a yetimi bebubu ni akum asofo no. Yache emma e de omo repri omo ni ade. So a military leader, what is the next action? The everybody teams okay. So organizing a mutiny no sorry. And that is one thing America said. West African countries no. Because we are dominated by the francophone countries no. Some call for no leaders no and tiasi wo form. She say Ghana.
How so? So ka so mon tiasi wo form. I think say iron nipa do no muti en ewie no. Would want to understand entiasia in what sense?
Entiasia ni say eyamamu. Ubeya o de bread so ha. Jai to because a mining nye nipa baako for there.
Yeah.
A mine to me and quiet is nipa baako for there.
Yeah.
Because even Ghana as we have now.
Baako Togo there nipa baako for there.
Na say omo na aye ni sa because Togo no e be free Western Togoland. Me wa and a kokabo mu say Togo. E be free your friend is a Benin part of Benin.
Yeah.
And a beka who say Togo. Even to some extent e be free friend say Adeba am go for Nigeria and a form a part of and omo nyina ka omo boom say baby edro ne be nya found dia see a kabom near friend Togo. Just like Ghana, your northern part, your by your central part, your Ashanti regional part, your some part of Western Ashanti those days, your Akwamu area, your almost no form a part of the eastern, and your coastal areas, now no so far Western Togoland and none be sa no almost so become on your boom, and you see a Friday, Ghana. And at the end of the day, you have freedom to your kind of boom and see a Friday, Ghana.
Yeah.
But those times were in colonies.
Protectorate.
Yes, thank you. And yet, says the Baba Kobaka say, Yabe protectorate if you are your mind back. Why didn't you say Baka say, I mean, Busia Japadi, Debbie? And ya in ye. It is the moment, what year did I'm telling you, said Togo. Or my your imagine some basis one day, Ubia on also. Anya krona mu kro bi from on ya baby. Because yes, because it timi nya baako for Japadi. A juvi says 7 previous for Yasingwa, a Yasingwe, or any papa. Your friend say, Yasingwe no coin. Omun Kwan and Yansa wo mutimo biti ebu o mine.
Yadima, Yasingwe.
Sorry, Yadima, me that's it. For Yadimano, any the papa Yadima no coin. Are they trying to tell us, Omun Kwan biti ebu o mine? Kabila at a point, you know anybody got the uniform. At the end of the money, he feels that on mind for the plight, they do baby na Kabila and said yes. The Banabedi so do baby on also by a tyranny. People started rising. The tyranny said, "Na make us leaders in was it Ghana leaders in terms of democracy. They be a Ghana about to say upon the ye say on mine." Yeah, NPP, NDC, NTN, there's no timer who agree that we'll fight because of leadership. Yeah, a video minus to say a betray and want to a queen who is Yamuja. A penny for no crime, say 7 predators or 7 predators, Manus Mazo. Say, Urama Hamayo, this who say, say, poor Bammy team. Sabi, Sergeant no cranim, 7%. Me caught the 3rd, 4th, 5th term. Nesse, on my phone, no end, was I would not think, say, he would even sit down and say, it's me, Mintino, I'm mining in Ano, and I'm mining in Ano,
he'll be guided by history.
Yes.
And I think that he's made it clear once.
Because
there is no need repeating.
Yes.
So more
for the betterment of the nation.
Yes.
Because
he realizes that you're leader.
Good, that is the best part of democracy. And that is what I'm saying is that leaders in other countries, normal leaders,
but then you bring in the element of still having colonial ties.
Yes.
Say, a mine be na omudio so.
Yes.
saa ayɛ
policies
ahodoɔ mu gya hɔ ma wɔn ɛne nkitahodie no is still there.
Yes.
And so say
exactly.
And only as someone can say if you look at the course so La Côte d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso they can one. The link between a man penny for no more sabreno to any France was there. Yes. And so people to me Jinaswaka say, look, we need to cut those ties.
Yes.
Yamasa and Kitahudi and Infrio. Said they your mind be developed.
Go yen team to good one near your mind near their France.
Near Quacoton. Na France I can't just discount the atuho. Yes. Osimu here be no mabaji. No ababe catch any discount of the and that's the difference between the Anglophone countries and the Francophone.
Yes.
The Anglophone countries, we don't have that strict ties with England or
Liberia. As I'm talking to you, Budumbura. We make us so be say investigation I mean. And Kwadao Budumbura is here. America tin a ma omo de omo. Omo show omo as part of the ties omo be di omo so. Eti Kwadao Budumbura is here. That is why Budumbura e binom nya adwuma. Yes, few people omo nya adwuma omo didi that. Yes. Because at the end of the month no America for no as part of omo responsibilities there. Ba omo di Liberia so kophobia is some benefit because and you may be or acquire uncle.
Just slaves go home.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, me that say. Just slaves go to slaves no a benefit na so mo bo no mutimi be free. It's yenne Oko Liberia, wouldn't be more America P. It is because they have given them such a mandate say what being and our special AEB. No more free say boy you don't need much and yema piasan when your visa they are US. Yeah. They only have to come and check and prove you right. Say, the way you are so on. Ubetimi ba, ubeti enye ni mdieni biya kanye de oko. Yama a binom scholarship insurance is a horo. Ewo it is a Liberia tiwa. Say nyo mo aho no mbeti aye omho basa basa. Do you think say Liberia ebedwere say empo no enei we be disumi koyeku. At a point Robert Gay ni Chastela niema omoye.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's after a cheap binum, later, Chasela has to confess, near maybe 1 year after Kujina court near the and now they have signed treaties at Bibriach. Say, Oma who say, oh, yeah, cool, ha, you say. And now Liberia is moving on smoothly. The same thing. What the other one is Sierra Leone? After says Antoquani see civil will be a buyer before our mom would sign the code on constitutional NC. Yeah, it's a problem here. France quite on fossil. A dear Maya or Bermuso. I say, Majao, Barmetite, and Quachain, the all
because it goes to know,
yes, the all Barmachena will hear far. The catchers will mediate.
Yeah. So to us, yeah, it means that those external forces, no,
and their courses,
and their course,
because
some of the
because we delete this more
Francophone countries,
yes, Memoafa and Burkina, we need the number of gold and echo for France. Gold, echo France. Even no electricity cry was owned and controlled at a point by French company. They have to inspect everything. Taxes never call ya tax do a percentage as a ball mining. About this, how would you be able to propose and I say how would you be able to say Debiano, you are proposing budget to suit Obi accounts are need him and son adia be your mind. See France Ghana or my penny John Dramani Mahama and then the finance minister be your budget.
As I'm
what do you mean? It is said that your friend said, "Oh, my penny, John Dramani Mahama, Kumasi to Accra, be 200 kilometers. 200 kilometers now, or by an obey here $500 million. Now, your friend is saying, you get to us, Debbie, Musika way higher $300 million. It's say you bet me, Yamamu 200. Yes, I had 300 in our mamma, but some baby some scar. What are you telling me? A banner, sir, me, I meant to was Debbie. I didn't know Miami team. A foot running idea, air bombing. Air course, I remember now what you chrome, a whole shrine. Say yare no to me ne bepe ekwaye befa so akia wo se mo health services no eniema e betimi dia mamuni e pasa enipa onipa nyini ade achi ade se bia ne nipa adwene mu bie wo niema ho enti the more obi adwene mu bie wo ho no saa de ko hwe Libya kra na eye oman a omo ho nkyere omo to the extent say me cousin okotena Libya o se ono nya Libya ngonim se wonam afuom kwan so a yetimi set fridge ema okobie ya ye no ahye dem wo hwe na come de wa ugina ho okobie adidi cameras bobo ho ya ye wadwen se obedi money a even inside the fridge no kra no there's a camera so we ye aduane bi no why wadwen so poison na within a certain short period ugina ho na police abeduru ho at the time na Gaddafi eno kra no bi no so mo nte omo ase e presi yentu no let alone on my out team wo sori na wo kwa adwuma efuturo bebo ka no kra ne nei wato kire da so ye adwuma o ayi Burkina Faso which kind of world are yeah that's all so wo cross our countries no now the kind of cars I call mu villages e wo say Ghana ye wie pay but ya na wo hwe wa to ene Ghana so kra de opon bibia ye kwa animu French countries so wo ko na call mu villages and who say and if you are
yamma asra
I mean
for into a binary society
there be
edru hefa na right at what point will you describe
say and yamma bruso share for instance me gidi say Burkina Faso money timer obitu won no penino na ye because na sabro no my for na reminding no yeah bro bakun bi wodungwame no odun de on kan Burkina on friend Burkina because I know mo kan no wasi Burkina ye bere papa na woni ne ka echi say Burkina the second capital no na utimi ko ho na ko hunu say 7 prayers wa sorry ko afu mu be kona e dan ba ko sia esia papa first pampro dan ne ade e wo capital city mu easily na to say Accra ba bi pampro e say story center ye ko ko
yeah
it is a unya sanye man no slums oh what are you telling me nipa na ni bia bi ko school ba no na nye just soldier it is our papa ne ba be ye no eniema pi ko so a e che so man no shepi at the right place enya ha no eniema nam so mo ba yi o eniema o port na ha ya no so yeah. Now excavators ni ade wo bia nyuma ema boys etimi nya bi ye in fact omo aman mu 40 man mu fo no ena omo de expert aka wo mu yi omo akwan omo ede expert aka wo mu ACC adan estate houses omo sisi governor so sa military coup no ye eno na ban fa so am man but there are some instances this is so to do bia eba ye Guinea ho no ebe sisi abia no 6 months obi ja me hunu differences are ekoso o man no it is such places no because the coup d'etat and amwa it gwajo mimi de me said there's no hope because James say coup d'etat two things. The negative outweighs the positives. But baby or the negative of I say omobi 2 o man penino. Ebwa ebe outweigh sa negative pluses na no mo wono. Ebi ti say Burkina. But obi so ti say Guinea. Ebe si na on share that mo awon sa. Wo say wo ye na me hwehwe say the omo economy. In fact, omo freedom omo nya ne sa. But ade ba akwa ya na ya. Eye de wo kan ye no. Edu ba bia freedom of speech. So you have actually freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And no whether
peaceful,
yes, whether a peaceful or whatever.
Yeah.
And yet, this is Burkina the one man for information through. And Kwabonti always send the positive news out of it. But the negative ones na cause no. Yeah, man who kwai no e yana impede the rights of the citizens. And no akobasa dia enye. But me feel say after some time the soldier buy now after some time go die power not toward their man a constitutional government get the best because it do be a tyrannical autocratic and to the extent say unye military leader than be autocratic media ya mfama mfa ha enye say but ya na bisa mo say ti kwajo adentina wa be di o man so emrada ho so ko 2 terms we are see simple wa ban kra na nipa bi ba be gina na watimi vote you have to be voting so na dey akọ animu a e now dey o say eduru amenti ase me ya na me tase dwene ho me tase o say e de nko na wo mo so mo beso ma mo bre obi say o man pani bi o West Africa na say African leader bi obi say na wo so bre na first say man pani die no e but at the end of the day e bro so say office so a because of boni ahodo e bi no di ya person mo cover o machi because at the end of the day obedi so uba hey yesi kwadwo EpaHoaDaben ya obetrazo hey 4 hours e be 6 o'clock 6 o'clock so ya there bi man fili abro so pese metra mi wa wo so wo betra no yare ana wo bre ga we ya asem kase wo ba no yi jo won ye verse senior producer o se kwadwo yesi 4 hours kwadwo ma prepare bibia 4 hours ni dia ma wo ba be duru about 6 na news ba as there bi man fili ase ensem na
bese me sisa no
and you want to
have another 4 hours.
Another 4 hours. Just ebe na wo, 7 previous. 7 nye Jimmy ni enkwasi adwene ne adufu bra. Any man boy ni na we ya. Obi ti say ABI, em fan say when you 8 years. E dey na oppressor wo sesa woni pa mu a wontimi sesa 8 years.
Obi ha onwie.
There bi o me say 8 years.
Ne development.
Here.
And I say ne thinking around and understand the conceptualization of development no
that is why
baby okokodru na longitudinal enye as anu ya no onu obehu say
no na me no na kwadwo na echa na me kasa oman ye nya policy say American him say so we your friends say omo friends omo two parties from say
Democrat and
Republicans no omo ni pefe say mumie no nyina no your manifesto should rally around the national agenda.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, maybe say 24 hours economy and na me dey ba. And I say go kitin dey na me dey ba na NPP for say almost say one district one factory, one dam, one village. Now they be go time no mo ja ona mo ko. Hwe o ma pani ku for start e first say housing project bi. You do baby tech now better than
yeah, of course. About to say go yes.
Now waiting to masha now the baby shower. Now you are not free. So me boys me body. You are not free. You do baby you see ba ku so segleme.
Yeah, and so gususio.
Na so gususio. We yes you nim baby ayeko. Ni jai policy that was ba ye na o man no. Ewo national agenda to say the America say you say 20 by 2050. As America, it will call airspace. It's whatever you are doing as a president or as a party, you must be able to work around the clock. Oba Bedisu as a president, institutions must work. Mr. President, I want you to say, Mr. President, what you are saying does not match Americans. No maka. Unyaka we are as an institutional head. Obe making sure say o president obey the ba omo man kwai man nyede. Ensi. Nyama pi omo man kwai man nyede. Within their military, within their police services, within their health centers. They have a national policy towards it. It's you bad now, yes, Obama care way. Say, Oma iron basa because Omufi say, I didn't match national health policy. The tutu wema it you also as a president the ever man kwama dia rally kakra na dia gigi ba u free so I be making sure say we shift that agenda from it. Say moi eti edrum pempen so bi akwadwo. We have to tell our African leaders say a term of office is a term of office. See a person sa military mutiny ne sa na mani fifiri on be more African be more especially West Africa. And so who say term of office here term of office.
You shouldn't go beyond that.
And critique chaos bia by saying say a brass me person me ko 10 person me ko 4th term person me ko 5th term me person me no your friend say lifetime president me person me no monarchical friend say presidency Debbie woman na monarch no Morocco money address start free yam punch him resu
yeah
and atena wa bedru ne your friend is South Korea a ben South Africa we onano Iswatini enye nne omo de to from days you call discover ho no one ne mad on share say me ne me mad me nananom ye ne discover ha ye be ye no eno om si yankwa ne sa enti most of the Iswatini people they have allegiance to the king
yeah
akwai say obusuan line na mu chiche no ware omo ho because the papa akopɛ na di kan kɔ ho eno call discover ho no ne nkɔfo bi sɛ namfo bɛtena hɔ no mo yɛ nti ɔmo develop kɔnɔma asa ware ɔmo ɛna ɔmo de ayɛ akonnwa but aha ne deɛ weefiri kwakuma no firi yɛfrɛ sɛ Burkina Faso na ɔbɛtena ha apɛdo firi Western Togoland na ɔno nso bɛtena hɔ Mesidɛfoɔ nso so efiri ha Mesefoɔ nso firi ha na yɛabɛtena ne yɛn nyinaa yɛahu sɛ daabi yɛn nyinaa yɛtete bembɛn edu pɛmpɛ nso a nkɔfoɔ bi pɛ sɛ ɔmo gye asase ɛna yɛn nyinaa yɛn kamom ne yɛabɛyɛ baako ɛmma ne nyɛ wo sɛ ɛnu nti no yɛ ma kwan ma wobɛdi so a ɛyɛ wo dea problem a yɛwɔ ɛwɔ Africa no yɛhunu term of office dan sɛ nyɛ saa deɛ a ɛbɛtoatoa so saa but ɛde gye sɛ Ghana nka ho
Ghana nka ba ma misa sɛ and I think sɛ saa nkɔmmɔ yi ɛbɛkɔ ɛde ama atiefoɔ mu tie ɛnɛ awie yi sɛ yɛka no akandifoɔ a wɔbɛtumi asankra nneɛma mu a abibiman are we bereft of akandifoɔ wɔbɛtumi asankra nneɛma mu anaa like mpanyinfoɔ a who can stand their grounds and say this is what we want for our people and this is what we are going to do for our people. Enye se obi na ebeba abegyina wachi aka kyerɛ sɛ akwadwo mepɛ sɛ sika a wanya no tienie sika a wanya no fa koye wei anasa fa koye wei
ɛno deɛ
it's our problem
your leaders but
your leaders but then
but you lack the willpower to implement policies. Your leaders power.
But if you're a leader and you lack the willpower to implement policies, then you're not a leader.
Yes. Because
then who are you leading? Because you are looking for the betterment of the people.
Yes.
Nipa no would do on kind. When you hear on can cruntina would do on kind. Now so obana kase ade ebetimi abo nipa do no ano. Enya ade a wutumi ayo na je se wonye kandini no.
UNDPs no. Yeah bisa ho say UN the policies by everyone about it. Are you telling me say Japan, Korea, and the rest no experience it more? To say the Africans experience it is because we don't have the willpower to do the right thing for ourselves. In fact, our revenue generation can pay for lack. And apart from that, already crown of Esam is appropriate. And that is why a Edu baby I say appropriate. Okay? So World Bank must cast by a choir. On first can in show in the moon.
The contract.
Yeah, the contract now. On no crowd contract and no ground san can now.
So you be
we do baby.
No resist. No resist.
No barbershop.
No aqua.
No measure. Say the na catch is the way we had here no. A kind of Eastern Corridor Road and a Western Corridor.
It's Eastern Corridor Road. Then I know.
But Western Corridor Road yeah weird at that.
Mami misa.
Yeah, there.
It's me bisa. Because your manga na sika.
Ena
ye di ye.
Say to be a VNC. Ena aban for buy ono so ntimi anwie ne de. Oh, say nka bibi wo ho say. Ba bi esi ye no ya aban for buy. Obeto so de President Mama start etoa Kumasi enfense Pokuasi road yi kosapeman honom saade comedy mo ne adena. Afi na hu no say ensakraye ba empanimfu tim kakra. But as to say ebeto so because this is the moment Ghana for my who say nanado aban no ene ne nkofo mu dwumadie in the latter part especially in the last 4 years amwa oman no ene nkrophobia team etino omo massively vote out say you vote omo out some nko nkofo fro be so me sure say hu no so kakra be bo omanpani mahama say this time Ghana for say do mu di agora anase say mpo ye ba na niema eyema oman ya antoto aso a e de how be brain what you say it this time sa niema ni nyina no omo ye na kama pa and said you can Eastern Corridor Road near me gidi say enye no gra ho asem tisiana
I'm talking about leadership on the continent of Africa. Leadership no
see enko school go sua
enye school nko na akwa betimi
of course school go sua nyansa fro efie nyansa akandifo ye obi o man mu pa
enti ede
ne ha laki ne say enam so man boyesem abro pesaminkumnya pucha ene se yepese foma ye ho na ye nwene da chinti de bia emma sabin producer nyansa no adwembone ne kata nyansa na omo wone so ebinom so and me gidi say this time ese is sanema mahunu say o man pani we ti wantimi ammo ne ho mode me ka asem we na se wanya the fufuru bia na ye 7 predators abon no abon because he has all the mandate from parliament to Ghanaians. Bibia e wo ho say yetimi de boa omampani ma ni gina abrane no ye adwuma no. We o sisei etimi de make kan say omampani John Dramani Mahama. Nyansa ahofama ahobrase this time mo buy sa na ma na frase pa. O ma sa adwumadie na wo de frase no. Ene kwan a wo frase ye niema no. Even me hunu hwe kra dollars e de na aka no. Dollar sakraye. Kakra timi agina sisi amama timi epe ade bi wa abrochira eja me kekra gitingiti metimi dia to ma di panama ne dia eden aba senka e bia net se first ne dia gamentimi but we no o kakra but the mechanism my man nye 9 day wonder we your first year in fact success kakra na watch up no mema wutimu nya ode NDC for no especially any your friends omo a o majority sisi an memma wo mutimu nyonde ena minority no omomo a man no mo so sidi enye your friend say John Mahama nko ane na ban dia your man Ghana ekoyi a ekoma ye nyina so omo criticize it na omo epese stopping him constructively and him apel be bo omo push it as e be say be a minority ade bia no majority be ye fe and President Mahama who overwhelming majority there ehun ya say de bia no Obaka say policy we want to implement policy we want to implement at the end of the 4 years na ya hunu sakraye bia na de obaka say 7 predators say born no wabon because leadership quality no free as here wa frase kama ade ya me friend say no and I know so koye construction bi o ka sem bi wo ha eye me de pa
aheva
omo farmers day can see me no to be or say your minor wa be this no and this for no vote man and ontimi appointee obia Emma position but the be ne say obeye o mine ya
say the be obia ho beto no yeah
e ya sem kese pa ne nim disem kan waka so otimi toa so ye ho adwuma dia in fact me that me declare me say for you we should declare me say me NDC
yeah we right
say me hunu ni ya
obo right fifi
that me say
obeja ono nya nko bi
oh there be na so mo on NDC for we
yenko magana phone from from no 0551 563 0555 657 278 na the candidate for the New Patriotic Party penyeno him Franka edema NPP amanyoko no edna ndisi maba betudwa amagana fo nyina obia so atibi se abato ekokoto yemfimpi mienu eni aduonu nan ede no mampanyini abato no de eyade a wo hwemu ekeka ne no mese bo mu no eyenkugo no adi entie ne waje atompreko pe se eyewadi nkugo ene wotene ne nsa eno de nchia kese pa asomaye ede koma eye president his excellency John Dramani Mahama dodo no adwene ene se abato ekoso nipa won prepraye hwere won kwa e wa abato mu no kamia se yensua bibia mfamfiri mu ebinom adwenkyere a won de aba ne se senkebe ya abato kra adwumaku a wosi ho electoral commission no yenyini mfiro esanse sa commission no ncha enyade a omudwumadie no ya so ani bia sa ne empeku from fa abato ehun sensem no emfa emon kyere wadwene ho 0551563916 0555657278 ebio coups ahodo na akoso foiled coup attempt ekoso ewo Benin no ehun sensem enei eyade a mampanyini Patrice Talon wose de wom eyeye no nwie peyo enti enipa binum wo ha na se asrafo binum wo ha eyade a yaso mo pan mu ama embra eni won ebedie na dodo no nso ebusa se ohwe se de kuku akoso ewo abiman atoye fom no a oman Ghana ewo se yesuro ana se babie gina no eye yeni nkomo 0551563916 0555657278 maha Ghana etio. Hello, good afternoon. Dini baby review. Say when to me enyina so 0551563916 916 anaasɛ 0555 657 278 two numbers yi ɛna obetumi afrɛ na odi aba dwumadie ni so ma menka wo sɛ yɛne ɛyɛ wɔnom a wɔn egyina mu ɛkasa ɛdema party ahodoɔ no yɛne wɔn bɛtena se ɛnɛ awie na yɛne wɔn nso ɛdi nkɔmɔ ɛfa nsɛm ahodoɔ a edi ahim ɛwɔ man Ghana mu ɛne abiman mu ma ha odi ne baabi afrɛfi yɛntie wɛ
mebacho medinde Prince mekasefra Ashalibotwe
Prince Ashalibotwe Prince bacho mientie o
anka kunu nke bi be course wo Ghana anka mfa so wo so
o da bia de na akasa Prince
because ye hwe oman ni ma anka ye wo properties ye wo minerals but ubo nsem se no ma minerals no so mfa so na kodi nipa ba ko nsem ema youth no ye bre ye ba
Prince minerals be na akwa kodi nipa ba ko nsem
oh chief onto oman mu ana
Prince Nyantobase minerals ben and akwa kodi nipa ba ko nsem me bisa a question based on what wasem a wokan ye
yeah okay mate minerals akwa kodi nipa ba ko nsem no ye gold ni ye diamond
why and akwa kodi ni nsem
ani empanyufo ya
mpanyimfo ben
oh yeah share opinion this wo mu no na mebo mu
because o hwa wonu mu ayamom a small scale mining licenses ahodo no a it's got nothing to do with a year mpanyimfo. We have people who are mining, they have the requisite certificates ahodo e dia mom so mun konkutu a year famagudie. So how do you mean if you say gold na kwa kudi pa ba ko fo nsem
okay nyankopon hira wo ba bia wa kan sisi e say yamom licenses but minim say te wo de wasase ma obi say wonye adwuma wo so a the person will pay you and you will get interest from that place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Omutu yes can demand.
Interest in Emma buying.
Omutu yes can demand buying, of course.
Into sha scan omutu ya demand buying. We for use that money for the something a you to no subenya adwuma. Aye. Sisi amekoka obeka kire me say you to ye adwuma. Ubetimi afa.
Menka say you to ye adwuma. But Prince unim said ye di adwuma no. Eyade a ensem a eto da bia ye chia no no e wo se etimi tene no ma yenye ye ho ntiase what we will not do ni say would misinform people tie ye wo sika ye tua edema oman no nye oman no kwa na nya se obeka ya ma mema an example said ye koso e wo eye lithium ensensem no ho no se wo tie se ahemfo no a ye kwa akotu lithium no e wo mo asase so no wo mo se 5% royalties near the more no won pe so what is answer no e kire say asase wura no a efema gudie no ehye wasase na se no ye tua wo kaye ma osika o ti ase wo fa nipa etuom ka eye sika sanso no sentua sika edema aban owi a wasentua eye taxes ahodo de ama aban enti ye pe baabi ede yen afefra kwa akoba yemfa nko akontabu a yemuo ewo eye sika yenya ofema gudie num emuyie anase ebia
medase pa so wo de honom na ba nyankopon hira si enkuntabu chief enya si ye mu nkuntawo ke mame ka asem cho mame nya ade bi nyan short sadio we Ghana ni ba baby am wo sisi ai baby am ye adwuma sisi ai white man dia o white man dia no white man no enjuma wo Ghana ha no I'm not sure say Ghana ni was enjuma ni bi outside empocracy say Ghana ni was enjuma ni bi outside there is a rule and regulation. Okay ye we nyina atiri na ye ba ye hospital ye ba ge ka kwan ye be si hospital ye be si we ta no ma we nyina no anka ye betimi afa we se mi bi so na anka sa small clinic no ye betimi aka boma ye ne ba ko because ye wo normal biblia ye wa ha sense ase serious ye wo normal biblia wa ye ya sense ase biblia nti sa wo be hu ye bie clinic wa ha ye bie clinic wa ha as a government in Myanmar land clinic so even fans from 20 Cambo Mayeni now one by AC because Ghana no ye bibia say yemfo bia ho
Isaac Bono was yanko ama how did you be afrefi
of a king kasua
of a cake as of a king patogana futi wadama
pesa me ma ojuma kakra no waye we mami OSP ye establish office no ye pesa ye be hu sikadodo every year ye di ma omu say omu pa ye juma adi corruption kama o mine ye pesa from that time up to this year ye ma omu will have over 150 million BBB no ye pesa ye ngata ni na ye hu say sikadodo be mpaso be na OSP ye corruption sika wajiama o mine any sika ye spend wo honu omu honu difference be na hu say office no mfaso waso na mfaso ni so maye enu na mpese midima juma kakra no wahwe mu maye na o man ka na entie
okay mame na wase yanko ha ma how did you be afrefi
bravo zeva
me pacho sorry for radio no why wadama say when to me enyina so yanko ha ye ne afrefo foforo eni enkomo ma ha odin ba bia frefio
yeah honorable baby
where is Sifa
sorry honorable Sifa
Yahuza ni
me pacho Yahuza
the boo the only illiterate in the NDC
we me kra me nkasa bio o say they be am catch us say mumu bi o de wa mu fi ya mu redu juma no I don't know so wo mu no na mukra kasa no na mo de ba wiase a Banyamishra wa na history journal no connect akuja de ko papabi ono to nyame kan oni jo ashama wo fa didi eni ontina bema ene nere ene choma wumba 4-5 so do anu jo na bema no kwada no oba ni dampa so no de awuma achicho ni bema na no de achicho oba ni 9 ehu bi penti edu be bia se na didi no Kana funi bi any wo politician mu. It is a kobaso ye nyoma mpem bi kwa no yade odwen kwa fo hu odwen Ghana mbabu hu na ogusu na oye adwuma tena na nipa bi timu ntene won ense ba ne sa ne mu ye be ka ten youth ni bi se wonya to wase oso bi be bi sa se te obi diga ne sika wempo de sabi se fa nyame no mienu po na se be ka cho obi se obi minibi mu obi agiga na sika wa fom ga na japade fa ne famra kwan so because kwa say politicians no we wa ban mu a no ne ne yonko bi oni aban mu di suma fidwa obi foforo nso ba enti se ko besa se minibi mu di sika no ma anya ohwe de se me suma ba ta me fa me sanka ene na ekoso me mu se Ghana doya da akoma pono so pa ifa obi a we di sika bia ya fa no famra kwan so tena be ya ekiri no obi so benya position obema ni na do no na no obi ko ye bi no mrawe no ndo de fiase na no kredi afanya mesro embata na enja suma afidwa ye be gira radio so na ejwa ya no ye de mrabe ejuma ye ko traffic plan ya tuajim ansanko ya ko kaise menka
ya uza mama na wase yanko ha ma ha odini ba bia frefie pa wada benzuni
Mpacho your friend Abraham Fresi Labadi.
Abraham bacho mienti wadama.
Me pamucho. Enya nyami sheda share the continent of Africa. Now we share the kind of obrea Africa for ye fema. Mu say the word democracy na mu ye kanu eye scam na.
What did you say democracy has come?
Democracy is the biggest scam in Africa. Ipachoti assembly. She said, you been elected presidency democracy. Na president no wakofa emrabia ehun nya emwa ni tofo. Nenso onu no ye leader no nti. So say Ghana sikati said die obiania assembly obeka won a ebeye adwuma. She said, yes, ye were leaders, omuye Article 1 holders. Na sakro for no omuncha like bill. Omuntia water bill. Nesu Bia Omuakacha Omuji.
And you know, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said, Obeso Sano.
Mipacho, and then I started free time. Udia Mipacho, Mamika Masen.
Abraham Kasa.
Not yet to make no well with all the provisions here more moon be beer free no. Now you see men like bill. Now on Yania or no auto pure water, or ye papa, or ye sugar. Now on no yet the you see the young for Joe Mutas. Now you have beauty or mine. Now you got all the resources at Yamiti Cha, we are saying Africa. Now you demand leaders. Now leaders no so much so. Now you on my phone ye bread. Then at the end of the day, you see a democracy. Democracy, I see it as I say, do a better than a better man. Me patrol share $98 million. You see, former president, what you got to Amuna, and yet democracy. One of the better mayors had who better democracy. Now hospital. Yes, you mean see macro and hospital. Democracy, a scam.
A scam. So to you, no. What form of governance and as what system of government and would you say you use a bit me boy?
Adia way say a baby my baby young. I think say leaders no agree yaka say telephone agree no asan wo mutrim. It is a baby bibi abe bo my no ye di mrabi ba ye fanko kaya ye fanko shoemakers for ye fanko farmers. Omuna dream because nipa no bre no no be mo wa decision na be boano enya obi a wa bi ewi an wa ni fo aye sofo onim no adwini nyasa na ye si ye dimra e koma no so on drink and on di wo e kom di hu obeti na adu hu papa.
Okay, so there all can say Abraham, we need a second chamber of representatives and you Obama. Name they have been selected.
Priority no. Advice from who and you be a me or what or top rain or talk out or to make up with you. Now you see Uncle Gio come din.
Abraham, I mean, I say, young Maha, Udini be afraid for EpaHoaDaben. Simon, Pacho Mienti Adama. Oba de Adaroma na nso e.
Nana no mada one. Asan say do out what.
Simon baby o jina ne ento nka.
Na me say ya ka pempa go.
Mente wasama wo kan yi Pacho sen ka betimi agina yi a. Wadama.
O de me kan.
Kasa yenkoi.
Aha, na me
San Fabio, what Mr. San Fabio, young Kwama, who didn't be afraid of you.
Hello?
Who didn't be afraid of you? Ghana to you.
Wafake, new plan station.
Wafake, new plan station, Wafake, Pachomienti Adama.
We didn't have a camp, and I'm in Kata.
There was a time in young Quaudia, and young Quanson of Adama.
I'm a camp, Mandy, with a man, woman, be a
no, Wafake, all kind, Kawakam, and go you.
I must have may say this year, Mamma honorable Musitabo, but you will be a man happy birthday. Belated, Mamma man, belated happy birthday. And Never Joe. Maybe the cat I know can't go to say, you be a good year, my mom for now, and penny for the now, what say a mamma. There's no question.
Pacho, what is semi-tree mutreno, and I debunked those.
Who would that question? Well, no, that's how we spend young woman, but you're no man. Send the panel with that woman, you big gun a good young woman. Who is the president? Yeah, what is the year? Can't go for mining, or the money here. Tell me what the money here.
Or the money you are saying.
What your money, Ibrahim Muhammad?
Did the president pick some coming Yantubasie? Did the president pick some for mine and say Ibrahim Muhammad Brabeji?
Ah, sir. Send you may travel said, look at you of a kill your family. May lobby at your family.
Ukolobi in young farmer.
May two of a kill me lobby at your family.
Miss Ukolobi and a young farmer of a key.
Manko lobby. Nanya Ibrahim Mama to quite a lobby. Me didn't tell you on Quaba Yamano. And I don't tell you that was it. I then I got a gata. Come back and say, then another man what you will man at the time. On your camera, will be by no account, and a colossal, and a dear general Jessica, and a young Fabian. Mammy was at the back. What's my Max? So go to beans in mill. Walk away a beans in a woman's table. Master quite a piece of one time, my scanama. Master over China. When is the match where you are? Walk to beans in a woman careful as one. Eddie Brown. Walk away with Fabian. We see Kama. No, Jano, what's the master Necron for? And I'm a MPP need Pianoa, MPP but my catcher no for case or Puggy, but we are my sick. I make it that. President Mahama, ne Tama was so. What does he see? What my 40 is because I told you. Coco ambulance break Ghana. Sikana ma ambulance na ma. Owo court NDC ba mo jano. Omo se nye krono.
Ambulance ne ba. Listen, me pacho nyanto boase ofake. And na nensem no. Ambulance ne ba na ambulance ne ba no were not to the specifications e ka se ye kwa kraba no. Meboa. That's what it is. Of course, who run away from the facts of causing financial loss to the state.
Mebo. Eti ambulance okwoti sabaya enya papa na odi bai no. So na asem no court. Wono kwa ji tubu so be tia scan yesi da bi enyi scan osuma pe. E wo se mra ya adwuma. Edi si bai o ma jam se wo nye boni bia okọ ba bi. And then this is to be trusted. Can offer that perfect. And I'm going to say, Omunim Sadinam Tabakru. Tamakantama to 70 million Ghana cedis. Master, former master, and this is time. But first, you cannot be a buyer. You're killing 10 years. What 10 US? Now, President Mahama call US conference. Obasi, one financial Panama. Obata Ghana,
on is now, okay. On is Sanfan
now I want to what Ghana? Yes, we
pencil, and Yamusuma pencil, and Sabrano, a year at the money buyer. In Tiana Momoye.
By certain term, a campro. Yes, now go contract to about your son, a group, so what we are Ghana. Yes, I want to tell you, I want to America.
Yanya Massa.
What about Yanya Massa? No one of them, I tell you now, boy, one day I'm going to come for. And
no been to me concourse or racken for your answer and funny moment.
Oh, but Yanya Massa. I think that's what Ghana president, the Bazaar will come Ghana president. And what time they can take me go cinema.
Obiankum Ghana president. Nanamo of Aki, Mamanoa, Yankwa, Mahaudin be afraid if you Ghana foot you. Michael Clagon, EpaHoaDaben in Yanko.
Wafake about person to good work when no pen no person.
Now, and now, him say, answer him, Obian to foot through, and Obian.
Obian is Ghana and car, we mining company, my Ibrahim Mama. Say, I'm way and I'm a papa 2050 or 60 or go Muki Boy, and I'm with the sanitation minister by every Yahoo dollars for pass and try and come here. More before they Katao, my mom come cry and champ for Proud. Namuba, Namapa, I'm a bear or program. Namabe, and I'll bear or program. We are near and the moon. I got the moon. The farmer example 2019. It's okay engine. It's okay engine. 2,500. I find it that to 9 engineers to 6,000 Ghana cedis. Now we have a class of our own Baba Charlie to Sabbath to try and just say that the big movie. I have my Ghana. And if you ask or no to I am better than this one of the Baba for the Chicago. The new woman at Tana Father and I said, what's the say, Chicago? Would be about the good God about it may think what was the good for Musolana Mukasa anyhow. Now, Chronomukas, Korea, but I'm from thinking to us and I'm more to about the Abdon, so go with one. But also, we have some so to say, cannot get this years is almost so going on. Mobile, then I'm in class, secondary school nowadays, but that's a father catch him. Secondary school, ne papa ni. Secondary school, no, ne papa ni. Ne papa no, the bani. And in Colano Papa, yes, I'm F, 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 F,
My was young ha, my hound in baby afraid your power the benzini. Pajo when you were Frank Pajo Bianchi whatever. France and Cabell catching a year, mammy. Wahoma need to see. I'm a Samala on network in your own. Oh, Munkuse Mobreho. Frank, and there's no to any of a book for the and you're so doing the essence, ma'am. I bet you check. Let is where you let the one for the moment. Yeah, my well, for the chairman of a political video moment almost time. Then now, we are what can I say? And that's what you know. Okay, I want to know what friend is not. And we had to take video. Companies open. The thing they are the ones. You were a month after the shade of the moon. Out of a president. That is media. Yes. I bet you see that. Everybody is free. The thing they are young. They are crying. That's why. You know, when there's a I took from the NDC said that boy, you have to join us. Let boy let me get a move. If it was a Ghana, if it's a Ghana, by the time there's and the body and cheerful. It's when you're Mamma, I say, yes, Oko Piemu, Ewo Amasama Hosanwa. Yes, mo network in yet. And your country telecommunication companies, no some Rame and Yemani or Yanko Hamaha, who didn't be a free Ghana food to a power of Bensuni.
Michael, Michael Okuga, Michael Mintio. Safa Medase. Safa Unim. Who's a Arabiano of a K, a friend or Cabina and Yano Cram, educating a Stella on Tefo. I want to know where Tintin Trinity. Oh, yes, na yana nanum kaza akwa we tintin trinity ono no apetampe emfa no de obekere no ba bi otim na no otim sefa em wa asam o kan nyina so enye no kre ye okrom a ana ye kan se obi ba se ye maniska na obeye sky trade na mu wiem bisa ne se di mo ka se edu be fa wiem da che no aha ono kwa eno no ora fifi da ka ha mebusa no obi ani chate minister no ya maniska Bacho train no osefa ube eduma no utre mu bi bacho mintra mu bi aha kajo fa ke so hu bi ana e bia na etwemu o sai ko woko ema ente bia na wa tene mu da na sefa hu ni ka ne se ya mpendefo no amu ni mo ya no amu hye mra fufuro sa 4 years
so be kaya former president Ora John Ajakum Kufuor edibai se Senkebeya term limit no ye man nko 5 years na ne onipa ba akoba be disu na 2 terms a ye nim say 10 solid years is enough for a year so obi betimi asachira niema so 2 terms 5 years 10 years senka no gebetimi aboayen
so fa no na be gba afise se no ade no ste no who say John Mahama I just say all the nyama tutu famu yi say ya jam aboy de ma obi fo say na say nipa baba no ye NDC ne kura po a obi sa kwa da chi ono so be ka so kwa ye ne ono so pe e di ma ya anu mu ya won be titi o ma na say no yeso ono de be ebobo eti na ya je ne mani mu ya no se say ano NDC omo kita majority no omo hye na John Mahama wi a sabi enya safo wo MPP mo ye ko fa bi be kan ho na John Mahama esantua so no se say o ma no ma sana nkofo de fa yese tu kwan ko mu koto ni amabli o mai mu ano na yese tu mi ehun bi na sefa mechi former president Kufuor
MPP party no nyina no na me pe na sompa me tia na wia mana wo da pa
mame na wase Michael okugwa tie okugwafo nyina fama yenko ha ma ha odi ni ba bia frefie
masa
yes sir
masa wo ye die
oba de adaro ma me ho ye na nso
me ai from no amba
no kre from there ma because se me chiro mu a enye na me chiro ma wi ntie na ye chiri
If mama was assignment, why am I?
Assignment no my yo. Na say na no kra na me wo mbo constituency no mu.
What friend no catch you?
Yes, of course. Me am a officer catch no.
Okay, me that's. Me nima dia me catch honorable Frank in cancer at my central MC.
Enti adano anamo ye short cutting ni de keka na oni ho me boa.
Oh na me no won say na you know ebe enti me preparation enti
Matias
and no Sunday ya na ye bia.
Yeah. Ma o trinkwa.
C'est pas ou tianuma no bio. Los nipa ya dia osai. Ma de me catch nyankopon na se onsran. Isu ekwan bia misu mebo ne hu ban. Da ti bia misu me hu se onso abaye MP a misu meye. Oni nyame nye duma c'est pas. Ye wo mu nu se MP before sometimes omo kasa as if ye ni omo nyina enti o mai baku. Ye hu amambo omo ebo wo Ghana ye hu die ekofu nyina c'est pas. Ene nkola no etro social pasco bia no MPP abreso na TBB pasco na mi nim se bibi wo on ma ye friend pasco nkola no kotro exam sa na ya to pasco ma omu enfa omu hu de omo se so omu ma akogu a private school na etia ska kese ebi ma wo aboti wo de ya koto pasco ma omu mu asua ade o ma asua ade o ya passe mu to score political political
political point scoring.
Ya toppers kuma mu keke ne nka se abanu aya ejuma wa ya de sepa enne sepa enne wo ko market niama ba asu omo mo to niama no esisi amanfo jeni na enka emre bi kura wo se jeni a ubebre ene jeni kura uko ebia su kura edini na mfo kura upa ubeti ansisa ansu omo amuto nyama no ebo didi sefa adenti na yeye hu sa
omo sa ne wo se de on
oh sefa Ghana fon kasa oh sometimes me blame omo yini se mra ebe ye juma wo amanfo hu na o se ebi nso akodina omo echi adenti na yeye omo sa because yes, I press control. And yes, Ubia, sorry, I know, Bia, me, na the cotton at the 10 cities. Say a beton. No, be dear, or no, or 20 new board in D. Oh, c'est pas, ça n'a rien, and yo, almost Kaiser, Yakupo, or say any now. With there, apart from politics, there are more okay and maybe 4 times. For take over the steppers for it to the swam nyama send the who now say won't say bimu say akuko kitikiti project no work kra akuko yare aba
no a loose stock
say loose stock sefa yamni sa confirm to ko Burkina no say nya dia real and so ebimu ejiedi nipa wo mu hye no se onye sa story no kura etire obe part o se ewu de oye no enye enim enye ni ukasa friends excavators 500 and something up to now on my mu ha de hu ye enye ade ya CSU we de real so what the catch asat now o mu anya no kasa excavator 500 ejira wo Ghana ha o mu anya no so kasa. C'est pas when you are Juma.
Mamma Sakura, mouthpiece of Ablikuma Central now say Okaso on Maha Udini Baby review. Ghana, 8
Yes, let me just say.
Justice Obadi Adaram Pacho now so a power best on the
interior. Don't make free canto. Hey, don't make credit. They don't make percent mechanic. Let me say, MPP ni NDC supporters. Omo nya kept you well. Because Ghana no enye NDC MPP for nko ade. Ye go neutral person ya omo gini ye adna mo atwa. Yeah, you have to do so. You can't catch a ko se be do mu de ba kiyo. Amanfo aba omo enjoy AD sika. E MPP o NDC ye mada atu. What we say ya the abasa nipa be ya mana omo ko 200,000. Ejimi nko university special institution.
No correct.
Government ye mute omo carry nti ya mana ya bo omo ho ka. Public school wa kra ha na get this wa yeto. Na oba be kwa ko du SS. Na ontimi nko university ana any special institution bia. Na fa so be fa ne we mama ye collect.
Let me make a quick correction. Say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I say there is a committee that is established there. Also mutimi everybody aye feel wano kodano emode mbawment mi amono emu enhwehwemu. He's also made a statement say no. Instead of our attention say yes shift enko SHS nkwane so no. We are going to look at the foundation of education, which is basic education, you know. So these are statements since results in the Bible and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama are making.
Now the mechanic say omo mo di sika. Teknofolia kan MPP so omo ko ya no ko ya no. So bi di sika omo nje. Na say NDC ni bi so di sika after because me ya we say the man tamakuru ya court I declare say ya tanmra no me dem pay yes na ye sika wagi no ontua. The opposite na so kwa yo dey e de kre say obi e ye siria. Na NDC for na MPP for na ye chechi omo no mbeti maji. Obi di sika mo nje ma ya e na ya chechi o. Ada MPP o NDC mo nje ma ya. That people for the big we go after them amonji NDC for mu di NDC wa no amonji ni na fa magana na ye wonto ya na ye bede na da say
Justice Bameno was the final call ha maha udini ba bia frefie.
Good evening.
Yes sir.
Yeah, devil is a liar. Because I'm Krobo Dumasi.
Devil is a liar. Krobo Udumasi. Devil is a liar. Ghana foot you.
Yeah, Yamishra Nijumapa Udi. Now, Michami MP, Onabu Ketalavi, Deputy Interior Minister. Yamishra Nijumapa Udi Malo Amanyafu. Now, may come at some Sami Bissau, Tifa, social letters one, maybe that I hear a measure almost. Social welfare directors when I work Ghana.
Social welfare directors, no.
Yeah.
They are under the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection.
And dear Miss Trema Minupa. Yen lower mania, I work for domestic trouble. Yes, social director on Bunipa she.
I don't know why.
Me aminu, because I know me a disability person. And the Chami can't answer. Yeah, boy, what you
Devil is a liar. Anyway, we final. Yanko, my how didn't you be afraid of you? Bright in here, una chat to Yanko.
I am here to send me chat to. I'm sure we bring and my soul. And they be a queen out the Myers who say, you hit me at the Mammy Chammy and see our break my center, honorable Franklin Cancer. Now, member Excellency John Ramani Mahama Basso. We share farmers day idea any honorable Eric Puku or my idea for Nyama or Mudima farmers no. Every ma a senior Kenya or more among much near demanding and my Gania and the boy the running naso ever to Eddie Amagana for any or more moko equator idea. That was you. Only or my Ghana on Yankasa a problem. Yentina Mufana Casano a problem. Kese Eddie more man. Say Obi best said that say if you are sure talk now what's a baller, Eddie good sum say uncle. And also no this will be a catch and I say this will be Eddie Abba Ebedina also. Maybe say lost war I yes in 24 18 this one. You penny for you to me I show Musano. I say or more I say or Musha so and I say or more. Yes, a moment be the Akuino. Omunya, and I yet Mamufono Bono, acquires a real bone a small because he am penny for it here, ministers, MPC. They bring now what or more. Acquire ye from Pokwasi Quaya ye. Now MPB Abidina or Air Casse. Equina, Excellency John Damani Mama, a yes, will be the Kumasi Quanamono. On Jai. As you been a teacher that will cast us, what my everything so a MPP are buying. Good 4 years, 8 years now, betting up a woman. ɔmɔtumi anya major road bia ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana mu na wanya aban bi na ɔtutu nneɛma ɛyɛ ɛkwan a ahyɛhyɛ ɛwɔ ɔman no mu a wosi ma yɛnyɛ na woyɛ anka obi so ɛba a ɔmbɛyɛ ade foforɔ ɛma ɔman no ɛnkɔ so mipatwo wo special prosecutor office no na ebisa wo office nankasa no obiara nkyɛn saa office no because ɛyɛ corruption enti na yɛbie saa special prosecutor office no ba nipa na ɔyɛ adwuma wɔ hɔnom no ɛno na Ghanafoɔ ɛrekasa etia sɛ nipa no adwuma ɛnso ni because ɛnɛ kɛnofo yata enti ne mbɔ ɔman no korɔ no ɛnkɔtena aburokyi sɛ ɔsa ne ho yareɛ sɛ saa abusua no a ɔbɔɔyɛ and Akufo-Addo ɔde sɛ sika no esisi hospital ɛma amanfoɔ kɔ hospital anka ɛnɛ sɛ ɔkɔ hospital ɛwɔ Ghana ha nso ɛnɛ wakɔtena aburokyi sɛ ɔsa ne ho yareɛ eti office no nipa na ɔyɛ adwuma wɔ hɔnom no yɛm yi nipa no mfiri hɔ na yɛmpa obi a ɔbɛtumi ayɛ saa adwuma no na ɔmo awia Ghana ɔsika no ɔmo abɔ Ghana korɔ no yɛbɛtumi agye sika no na yɛde ayɛ ɔman no yie.
Bright maame na ɔse yɛmfa ɔfrɛ no ɛmfansia ɛnɛ awie EpaHoaDaben nso ɛna waso egu so a wotie no ɛyɛ owura afol atrase owura afifi de ka so atrase mmerem sɛ nkɔmɔ ahodoɔ no a nsɛm a ne yɛbrobro so no a no wɔn mu ti bi ansa na ɔmba bewura mu wɔn mu nim didi kan sɛ afe a etwa mu ɛne yɛto aba ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana mu yɛsua biribi deɛ anaasɛ yɛnsua ahwe efiri abatoɔ a yɛtoɔ no pinten ɛtɔ de bi ɛkɔ soɔ menteme ho ase yɛtututu atu ama manfoɔ ahwere wɔn nkwa ɛdeɛ na wɔse yɛyɛ kɔ yɛn mu a mfie mpienu ɛne aduonu nwɔtwe ɛde wɔ yɛn mu ha ya ɛma obi adwene nya ne sɛ ɛwɔ saa enti sɛ yɛsua biribi a ɛdeɛ na yɛbɛyɔ na saa nneɛma hodoɔ a anaasɛ nkabɔne a ɛbɛka aba a yɛtoɔ ho no yɛbɛtumi ɛyɛ afiri hɔ deɛ ɛtɔ so mmienu ɛyɛ oba abibiman atɔyɛ ɛfa mu a asraafoɔ kɔ amanya hodoɔ so kɔ Guinea kɔ piemu ɛwɔ Burkina Faso piemu wɔ Mali piemu ɛwɔ Niger piemu ɛwɔ Guinea Bissau piemu ɛwɔ ɛyɛ Benin deɛ enra ɛkɔɔyɛ a enei ɛyɛ owura Patrice Talon ɛde aba betu dwa sɛ saa asraafoɔ no mo homne so no yade abrɛ ma se kamia sɛ asraafoɔ dodoɔ no a no ayɔ ma dwene sɛ ɔmo hwɛ na ɔman na mamuo yeyɔ kankro no ɛntɔ ɛnkɔso a wɔn ɛbɛtie gyina aba abɛgye ɔman no ɛde ahyɛ ɔmo nsɛm na ɔmo atenetene nneɛma ɛdin enti ɛna ɛka ɔmo ɛma ɔmo ɛyɛ saa nneɛma no so esunsuanso bi wɔ hɔ ɛde ma amanya hodoɔ a wɔn saa asraafoɔ ɛnte atua ɛwɔ soɔ no a yɛnka ne sɛ ɔman Ghana deɛ kɔ soɔ nyinaa no ɛwɔ sɛ yɛsuro anaasɛ yɛnya gyidie ɛwɔ yɛn dodoɔ adwene toatoa ama mu no mu ɛno ɛka ho ma menka wo sɛ yɛkɔba adwenkyerɛ a mode ato Facebook no sɛ bɛbɔmmɔden ane abɔmmɔden akenkan bi ɛde ama atiefoɔ ne ahwɛfo na mmom sesia no deɛ ɛnye aboafoɔ nkratoɔ wɔn mɔm so yɛasene ɛmiɛde dwumadie no ɛbrɛ mu danda nyinaa no yɛnye wɔn nkratoɔ bɛyɛ baako mmienu mmiɛnsa ne ɛnan bi na yɛntwe ho mmra yɛba nkɔmmɔde de aka no nyinaa no yɛde bɛtoa so de ama wo live on Happy 98.9 FM.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pɛ.
Tovilla Water Solutions. Tovilla Water Solutions. If in a water treatment you define it. Tovilla Water Solutions. Technical support for your water systems. Tovilla Water Solutions. Water research deo, training deo. Tovilla Water Solutions. Water dispensers, drinking water supply. Tovilla Water Solutions. We provide safe water for your homes, companies, industries, communities, government and non-governmental organizations.
When it comes to customer satisfaction and professionalism in water solutions, Tovilla Water Solutions is the #1 in Ghana. You can contact us on 055 24 90 864. We are located at Titegu, Accra, Ghana.
Your property holds the power to transform your future. Welcome to Eclipse Collateral Management, the game changer in turning property documents into profits. We are not just another service. We are your partner in unlocking sustainable income and fueling business growth. With prime brokerage, collateral brokerage, credit brokerage, and land documents perfection, we are redefining what is possible for property owners and business owners alike. At Eclipse, we have built a primary depository platform, a secure, innovative space where property owners like you can lodge your documents and earn risk-free, sustainable income. For businesses struggling to secure funding, we provide collateral solutions you need to thrive and grow. Every move we make is backed by a rigorous credit appraisal process, so you know you are in safe hands. Find us at Adenta Barrier near Medi Moses Hospital, beside the West African Senior High School wall. Call 054-383-2466 today. At Eclipse Collateral Management, for property owners, we say, think safety and decent income. And for business owners, we say, think funding before projects.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and at eProductions, we believe it's about the moments that brings us together. That's why we're offering personalized video greetings for families, businesses, churches, and all at highly discounted prices. Let's capture your loved ones, your team, your brand's festive cheer in a way that will make this season unforgettable. Because with eProductions, you will definitely capture the moment. More discounts for all levels of video productions for your events and occasions. Call eProductions now on 024-2755-323. Spread joy, capture memories. eProductions, capture the moment.
Your property holds the power to transform your future. Welcome to Eclipse Collateral Management, the game changer in turning property documents into profits. We are not just another service. We are your partner in unlocking sustainable income and fueling business growth. With prime brokerage, collateral brokerage, credit brokerage, and land documents perfection, we are redefining what is possible for property owners and business owners alike. At Eclipse, we have built a primary depository platform, a secure, innovative space where property owners like you can lodge your documents and earn risk-free, sustainable income. For businesses struggling to secure funding, we provide collateral solutions you need to thrive and grow. Every move we make is backed by a rigorous credit appraisal process, so you know you are in safe hands. Find us at Adenta Barrier near Medi Moses Hospital, beside the West African Senior High School wall. Call 054-383-2466 today. At Eclipse Collateral Management, for property owners, we say, think safety and decent income. And for business owners, we say, think funding before projects.
EpaHoaDaben. EpaHoaDaben. EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Baby, when you say first na ye binumu ye shut down per politics. Ye say politics for no money or money and munye. But na mumu e binumu so nti enyina ye ni agi say ye beboa ma o man na koso. Na e bo 1 o'clock per na wa ye lawyer ma o man na lawyer for enyina pon akofia koda. Nyamishra. Baby, when you say first na ye binumu ye shut down per politics. Yes, politics for no money or money and munye. But na mumu e binumu so nti enyina ye ni agi say ye beboa ma o man na koso. Na e bo 1 o'clock per na wa ye lawyer ma o man na lawyer for enyina pon akofia koda. Nyamishra.
Yansa mu akwa babio emfamra EpaHoaDaben dwumadie ni so. Ene ewie ura maliba atnase ura fifideka atnase ura ye afo enso atnase na ensem ne de dɔɔso emre ni hɔ enti ene ye bawura ma na ye bawura mu yen hyase na sombe kaya be ya afenene afi twa mu be mfimpi mienu ne aduonu nan no sabrani atoaba ama His Excellency then Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, then candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Aba Bontene, Aba Bediatum say, Abato on a course, so Mitrema Pani Abatono. In Pifi said, now returning officer officially. The electoral commissioner yɛ maame Jane Adokoi Mensa nanso ohwɛ sɛ nakontabuo no sɛ de ekro no aizen kunumde ntimi nkɔ na afa ene e wabɛgye atom ɛno dodo no abɔ na baso ebinom ɔmo NPP amanyokuo no mu a wɔn ene ne nyaadwene no say it was too early for him to have come out to declare but ɛhɔ kra no nya asɛm titre no egyina asuade a etimi suaye edi free 2024 abato no a year on Rafi Deka mama han
Eja
Apomboko de
Boko
Nshasem from free.
The question is anything.
A year after a year elections.
Oh, Ibi. Oh, sorry. Sefa. In shower tea for no after phone na
EpaHoaDaben.
Say Ghana for there. Send your name no. Yen seminar na ehihye team. Because a year ago by this time na NDC for the promises try ho ahia ama omo ana sebe omo ye MPP for mpo ehwe nsem ana ekoso na say we die me anam say me MPP ni so we die me hwa me vote my NDC this time ebeboa me ankasa na samboa me busua na samboa me mind me nkotoma NDC NMA NDC MPP for bibria omanto ama MPP no ekotoma NDC ba beja tum say afinie nsema yennuanum kan ye nyina eguho omonye in fact omo flagship promise and as a program the gina so the bini abai 24-hour economy say I taboo ama ONDC ni na committee na ko boss ade ne so ahwe be be kan wasi abonten because anya adwuma LGBTQI++++. Mama so botuma me pe in fact Oyera Sam George o see etuma mahama pe within 2 weeks pe obe sign ade na ayemra ene yeto abama no se hu hia so be sign na mu yemfa nko school mu nko chere school kwala no ye chere school kwala no mo nya eye hu hia se be mra Galamsey hey 2 weeks to election na koso demonstration koso organized labor threatening to lay down their tools because of Galamsey. So nenia say MPP for the two Galamsey no no more forest reserves do mu two Galamsey no inti yeba ye wini pe omu nyina abejai Galamsey ni nyina abekọ yensuo ni ye forest ni bibia no in fact e wo 120-day promise no wom some be banning all forms of legal mining in forests and river bodies na oma restore the river bodies no and with the 120-day promise na ka ho said number 19 or said number 17 I forgotten bebu chese na ohwa sa promise ni say omadi hu hwamo be dada yenua manum say be bie a friend women's bank yes bank on driver crawl wom cry wo ba a man kwa na eba be adwuma ho ka say it to be in their first budget. Women's Board Bank, ebeba. First budget I see the 50 million. Obi answer him say Ghana has minimum adequacy ratio, no say. In fact, capital adequacy ratio, no say, so the 400 million and a starting bank.
Minimum capital requirement.
Yes, 400 million.
420.
See, you need the 50 million. You can come say no there. Almost the year meetings, Niniama. And quand there were. Sana de nankasaba into 2026 yebehwe 2026 by ya said 400 million yenim sene ebekọ no nti yehwe but so far no tmu say promise akese omoma ni nyina no ehu bia ni ho ayede omaye ye wo MPP mu de yenim say yenuanu ye ni omo na abobre. In fact, omonye new as far as Ghanaian politics is concerned. Oma bemwa ntie we know their capabilities. Kosusha Ghana bakosoma nyama kesia transforming the Ghanaian people MPP for Nedeba. And nyama kesia transforming lives to krum hanyina MPP. I don't want to bore listeners by recounting them because we'll be any big social intervention programs are Sebi. You don't need to be in one part of the country to see or to hear. So, you see, yeah, Dubai, circle interchange, be afraid, baby, Dubai, you. You see, yeah, baby, how, yeah, KJT market, you see, whole airport to know. Obia, at least every member of the society benefited from such things. Are MPP deba. In the end, say you know there, omo number, omo there no, their biggest strength is kasa. Enu there, Now party no more propaganda secretary there. Omo biggest strength is kasa. You know some be kasa. In the end, this is a moment time because Ghana for no, sabi ayana ye mu binu wo ho a ye yare refi kakra. Nti bibi kakra ba na be sisa mu pena amanfo refi baby omote no. Ene yeru akofo kan no. Say wudi da na refi say emi bi no na wudi ohia. Ana se na ho kyerɛ. Nti na esa na bibi kakra bi a won appreciate baby awo no. Because fo say set na ho da. Nti enim se na etie. Ana se na last week e kan ye no. Enyama bi wo ho a yehu mfaso a ye hihia na egu akwa mu from 2023 after the most difficult time in Ghana's history 2022 ye call parliament pass ye budget na dollar 8 cedis by the time ye nwenu twi ye sa dollar ni me say budget ni delay ya by the time ye pass budget no somewhere around June or July no na e almost about 13 cedis or saying from 8 cities no. Could do 17 or 18 cities, I can't remember properly, but according to fine. We started in Yamegu Aquema, stabilize ya, we do 2024. No. In himself, Yama Yehui, na Yebihum, because I am a forecast predictor, most of these things. In Tinea, I am who say, Ghana for your man people NDC for time. No mun chomo bobre, namusumu huomo. Namun fan tu se ni namon he. It's too early to judge them. That's me, my thinking says it's too early. Nemono and Yama omo campaigning on mainly no 24-hour economy, the fight against Galamsey, LGBTQI, Sanyama saying, Omefili. Even the fight against corruption. In some ombe catch a Ghana for and throw a koshi and yahan. We catch a Ghana for an MPP for you say, and the most expensive hole in the world. You are digging the 90 million. It be say 1 billion. It be say 30. Just say all sorts of figures. And then Omo Ankasonwa Attorney General say payment ayaya under a national cathedral ni nyina fa na kwam. Sika bia nyina obi ani sika bia. Ena we yo, and I say yo, and then SML. Omo Ankasa no, Adani Ntokwa. Attorney General, Office of Special Prosecutor, say, almost save Ghana 2.7 billion because of SML. No, Moma, you stop here. No. Another investigation general said, 500 million. Obi say, oh, I didn't cry now, Mokano. Nipa na organization na omo ye adwuma ma omo aye GRA no omo say oh nkrofo ye adwuma yi esika na ehu say improvement abem sanya mani nyina ma ye hu say nkrofo di na da ena ebeje akonya no if ye nua ba sisile ona ye maami sisile da pa kra asem omo kan ya ado omo ankasa FBI omo fa fi ehin ba so omo ebo omo no e say oh even OSP Cracker said there is no corruption linked to anything about the Siladapa. In Tinamaya, I resume say, Yen Yanwindia, pray don't be pray, and some don't be can, nneɛma bebree hɔ mbɛyɛ but kakra yehu no ama yehu sɛ ɛyɛ dede kwa esan so ɔmo ankasa no ɔmo hyɛ daa nye bibi kyɛ sɛ 1 year yi a yɛwɔ mu apart from dollar a aba fam any inflation dollar ne ba fam ti affect petrol no they cannot say this is what we have done ɔmo ntimi Atache road bi any home beka say ha say na ha ya antad yakoye apart from in some road ya Akufo-Addo man ya omba ye no mu peso mutu ya papa ija ya na makutu ya oye. They cannot pinpoint to any particular thing within 1 year. So omo buy ade say no maye. When you see ye so say ya ye. Apart from say they make kan they be any ho. Intie de anim say
no fees stress.
No free stress no. So what say hu komo. Omsom discan be ko. Ebi enyo omo de, ebi nyo omo de. Ade na nso kra ni na ho. Send your omo can beginning about free SHS no. So omo start to be the progressively free. Na progressively free no omo kire no. Omo mo kire say na eche so mu tua bi no maja bi. Na ukotua day student and sika ni fees here yes na ya himpo 400 cedis. Na ukotua mu 27 you say 28 cedis ah. Na we tua school fees no. How do you say free? For you cry university for you. Anya fees in no mutua wo. Omutua bi eja bi. Ebi say academic user fees. Ebi say we ebi say go ngwan. Ota say. Enu ti no.
The clarification came from a student loan trust fund. Say a school fees.
Which is not the full amount of fees.
Any academic user fees. And I say RFUF, residential facility user fee. And a buying but school fees say be 3,500 Ghana cedis. That's the amount that the government is giving back to
academic user fees.
But Senator also ultimately the bond.
No stress, no more no stress. If you hold no.
Because when pure school fees now, you can't go and pay the academic user fees and the RFUF.
Okay. So when you pay that,
the key to entering the university is your school fees are wet here for the school to know say you will come to the school.
Thank you very much. So the tier no now when to me what happens to you? And then also 1 year pay. Utia the first year, son. Or no CSA by the time I will be to your first year now, we do second year, no other skinny with me to our idea into the mutua first year. The first year, nepe and a year stressful. Uko campusa, Obakodo, Nabakudi, a pa, Ubenya scared to your
own as a student loan.
Na student loan, how much is it?
Student loan, and they mentioned say they are going to increase the quantum of Sika.
We are dealing with what's on the ground, though, and yet we are going to. After 1 year, you can't say we are going to. Because buy now there are two claims. They say in student loan, you can take up to maybe 6,000 cedis or 7,000 cedis as student loan. Student loan, you know, every student be every year, maybe 5,000 and even 3,000 cedis a year. Then we know, say, okay, into say, to me, bala 2,000. But to make student loan 3,000 be account. Now they tier fees. Now where they are heard good time scanner is so near Tiamount. If Tiamount near the bussy, say no free stress, why so. Meanwhile, no so we are in a country school now Kwalane Kono. Hostel facilities no about 5 times the school fees. In Kwale be to feature and ever. And almost so my yard in such a way, I don't even know those who qualify to be in the normal house of residence. A be in, out. I don't buy any out.
In, out, in, out, in, out.
Just saying,
but I don't know you have a university policy.
Yes, but who owns the school? The school is owned by government. Government policy shapes the direction of the school. Government and the biggest financial whatever of the school. What you say? And until say government per se, or ye be say ya school the anidia. Or bet me I can say okay. Henceforth, no school no say near no. first year for no munya free no stress free hwan no omo mo nko hostel no oti omo nko house of residence na no so nye free intine bia intino first year sika na odba ko tua o hall and say accommodation no na at least wo dia to ho na next year no wo dia tua fees na wo dia pay baby ahye but we dia ye tua a certain percentage amount yes amount stress bia na wan kasa na be tua ne aka no the following year crowd there nothing into the obi wa oti saa no wa qualify wa ko rem akotua ama no next year what happens to the person osube money loan how much is the student loan into any who said near money be bre wa omo kan ya say galamsey is worst state ever. We haven't gone to this level of galamsey in the history of this country. Say aban timi sma asoja for asra for omkuta tuo any a giant piao someone called pamo galamsey for near team soja ni minimum constituency. The constituency chairman be bisa say aden na oba no one bomb money ansa na oba. What I say? When you know you catch and say MPP for na ye. Inse nearby hwe. Ya bubo NDC for penifo din up till now. Yenti hu from Accra. What I say? Yenti hu from Ombe catch and so my friend penifo yi. Ya se ba kote radio so wo no for baby say onu obi an friend no. On call baby ah. Oh, intino enyama omo ankasa di tudwa a year today. Aye to ma omo ba akonyam a omo ba amemu omo edio seni nyama ye ni nyina. Ye de hu ni say they have not been fair to the people of Ghana. What they promised the people of Ghana, that's not what we are seeing. The kinds of things they said. In fact, me anka say do me be have them I confused. Me say, hey, let me cry, me cause support to MPP and I mean support to NDC. Now said Crawford can they send a US straight to promises here so juicy. A juba baku bia nipa miensa. Me small fast for gu me so. Inti ebenya nipa edwuma baako na ye wura sami je fi ba radio so no tietie mu me say Charlie abrochi abagana also the oba edwuma from 1 o'clock to 8 ku sorry pe kofi ko another person beba abetena ho once be starting from 8 to here ko we super starting from how to say edwuma baako na nipa 3 hey ama for boji mu kiki up to now. Ya fa hu secretariat to itu amanfo ka ye wo hum ye kan say appointee itu aneka afen so ka say obek for me the leanest government ever Angusiaga oti ase no ye any say why smart about it on ka so ye minister na mo position de be ma ho chen minister on phone to di ni so ye minister na do akọ parliament akọ veto ni ade inso di say no hwa wa appointee obia for ambassadors crowd or deputies.
But that's nothing new.
Oh, but how many did we have in the past?
No, but it's not a new phenomenon.
But it's the numbers. We are talking about numbers. You say leanest. Now leanest na nunye. Leanest na nunye. Kwatwe presidential staffers. Would the salary of ministers. Bebre. December and GH cry your own presidential staffer. How dang. Drip aye de baye. Yen ye de drip by you. At all your friend is saying earth moving equipment. Emma every district or municipal assembly some of fanya ejuma. Ya fahu coordinator. Mabe fahu office. Ni petu abka. Usuba ko assemblies ni na machines ni go. And rich Thursday. Police will be chim or kind of turn a normal yen. Me decided I'll just watch them. And after we brought me for our car fire extinguisher him a triangle him to do a court. Okay. Church of mammy. Some court or la dadiko to pum. Municipal honor. Thursday. Me accuse person who got in a court. Complainant number. Complainant number. But why your friend case? I'm could be sir MTTD you can't say prosecutor and say corporate chim only gone. UPSC. In fact, Holy Trinity anim ho. Na mo chere me na mo de me call Legon police station ko process me. Wọ́n sọ ọmọ kura na wọ́n si ha. Na me say bend dem. O se sa kwaji o papers. Na we would be akọkọ na need time ah. Say kwaji o nyama fi no. Na me ko hese the drip machine sisi o ti mu se bi o kura ye tu da. Eyi no roller no. Esi wo ti mu se hu nyina. Ye tu da. Into constituency di mu. E kwa wo ho a enye. What you say? When you or tipa tracks in the what is happening? Your family coordinator, what is say or change vice president, who in the office, and then in just say, into I know so no, failed campaign promise. 1 year mu, you who she, Linus and Yajuma. You see a fair baby, healthcare baby.
Mahama case.
Yes. And see at home office. Workers who.
Yeah.
Where is it going on?
I know some East Legon in Baltimore.
So what the
around American
office is East Legon or drip office is East Legon.
In East Legon. Cantonment, East Cantonment, around American Embassy.
Dollar.
$1. They've started engagement, stakeholder engagement, broader consultations or more. Something that I can attest to. Say,
now, Papa say, have they started attending to people? Are they? I don't know how different. Oh, there's another program. Can be how different is it going to be from NHIS? But I know there. Sure to be. Oh, intino. Who share omo with them 120. Mean come manifesto ni mu. Manifesto ni they show me the on the culture say. Just 1 year. Until we meet me, I'm dealing the 120-day promise now. 1 year ni kra no baby omo nya. Yeah, kasa we can say we are giving time. Yeah, more time.
Okay.
Omo nyiro omo ho. Na se no mo kan so be enye no mo ye. You see no one sign the electricity bill aba some be increase by 15%. Water by 8%.
You better home come. I think it's part of our conversation. Can you come to train?
Meanwhile, Moji a D levy you saying. Doom so levy. Moji. Other Moji doom so levy. Now we're saying increase a electricity price. For what?
That's another question. We're if the camera was mammy call you raffle. A year on. From far what we have learned about our electoral system aftermath, because many some more IPAC meetings in the there is see a DNA see a committee say a home since so be to job a top mountain so you need a no home come and then perhaps you can look at the performance of the government.
But I say many Sifa. I mean chia iti for ni ashefo. Na me Emma, your former president J. Kufuor, happy birthday, Kesiapa. In fact, say, Mikai December 8th, na Makai, Naka Pubi, I Kwakoji wa Kumansia, Ambaso, Satana, dear Chiana, any birthday. I come over again. Yes. December 8th to do yeah. Until then, let me wish you Papa happy birthday. In fact, Nyansa na dreaming no. Esunye. Oko na se Papa tufu a. O sane before na. O to say ya kan sem kese atu trimu. Enti Papa ene ya woda kese. On behalf of the GFP executive, no, it's a young couple in Shroud. On my own, you see me too, Sala, near Beji adventure, a war. The farmer member, as some no so 1 year. Now, my men find free easy. 2024, no be any say election year.
Yeah.
Now, Isi tu safre ye ko IPAC. Sa time na ye nuanum penifo NDC ni MPP. Ni ya isi edibetu dwa bia no. Omo wa asemka. Obi supporto, obi say there bi. Na mehwe ni ya isi ye ya owo bibi hye ni ntuma mu. nanso ayɛ nipa ho adwuma yɛkɔ tena ipac a yɛka nea ɛyɛ sɛ electoral commission ɔmo sesa no na ɔmo asesa nea ɛwɔ mmerɛ mu a ɛne deɛ na ɛyɛ yi si nankasa ne tumi yɛ sɛ ɔyɛ no na ɔno nso ayɛ nti ɛkɔ so a no na ɛsɛ election no pempem so ano no na ɛsɛ yi si ballot papers ne adeɛ yɛ printi ɛno nso nim sɛ mmara no kyerɛ sɛ sɛ ɛba bɛhyɛ aseɛ ɛsɛ party no nyinaa de ɔmo ne mo sini ɛkɔ ɛno nso no ɛho banta bi kakra baeɛ but ne nyinaa mu no na election no ɛbɛba so a saa nneɛma wei nyinaa ɛbɛba ɛtɔ de bi a na yi si afrɛ sɛ papers no ɔmo print no mistake bi aba baabi nti yɛsɛ yɛsɛ no ɛno nso na yɛsɛ yɛfrɛ party no because sɛ wobɛsɛe no a ɛsɛ party foɔ nso gyina hɔ sɛ ampa sɛ adeɛ a wo sɛ yɛasɛe no wosɛe no nti ɛno na yɛkɔ ipac meeting yɛbisa sɛ nti for how long because adeɛ no sɛ ɛsɛe a ɛyɛ sika na asɛe o ɛsɛe a ɛyɛ sika na asɛe
of course
nti no da bɛn ne yɛbɛfi saa tibia no sɛ de bia yɛ printing papers ade no asɛe ɛsɛ yɛde sika foforɔ ɛhyɛ mu nti ne yɛka wɔ ipac sɛ in our next election no yɛmpɛ sɛ saa adeɛ no ebi bɛba because if wohwɛ papers paa asɛe a yɛhyɛ no na ɛnyɛ papers ne yɛhyɛ no no ba Ghana sika meanwhile no saa sika no nso no sɛ na me nua fifi kae no kwan bi kura da we ladade kotopɔn wɔ ewura kora ɛbɛtumi de saa sika no ayɛ den
akɔyɛ
ayɛ nti yɛma apati ahyɛ sɛ yɛntena ase ma de biara no saa nneɛma no nsi nti adwumakuo a wɔde saa adwuma no mu ɔmo no sɛ ɔmo hwɛ na sɛ ɔmo ntumi nyɛ a ɔmo ngye adwuma no mfiri ɔmo nsam ɛsan sɛ yɛ Ghana adwuma na ɛyɛ den
yɛde ama ɔmo no
ɛde ama ɔmo ɛna yi sika kyerɛ nso is well noted nti no ɔmo bɛhwɛ then let's come to political parties saa bere no na parties nyinaa yɛ nyinaa manifesto yɛ hyɛ Ghanafoɔ bɔ ne yɛbɛyɛ wotie bi a na kyɛ sɛ nsɛmpa ebi yɛ dɛ ne nso no adeɛ baako a sifa mepɛ sɛ yɛsua ɛfiri election mu bɛno deɛ mede ma mediafoɔ no ɛtɔ de bi na sɛ partyfoɔ no ɛɛka asɛm a ɛyɛ a mediafoɔ no mbisa question ɛsɛ sɛ ɔmo bisa ɔmo nti no ɛno ane sɛ wabɛtena hɔ ɛna mɛyɛ sei ti sɛ nea ɔreka no sika no da hɔ a ɔbaa a ɔwa bɛtam sika no de ayɛ nti na me expect media ne sɛ okay wosi wobɛyɛ adeɛ wei sika no wokɔ akɔfa afiri hi wobɛnya sika no afiri hi de ayɛ na adeɛ kura a woka sɛ ɔbɛyɛ no ɛyɛ wo first year ɛyɛ wo second year ɛyɛ wo third year anaasɛ ɛyɛ wo fourth year nti si yɛnsua biribi mfiri mu na sɛ de bia ɛbɛgyae political parties no na ɔmo abɛka sɛ yɛbɛyɛ sei ne yɛmbisa ɔmo baabi ɔmo bɛnya sika ɛne timeline a ɔmo bɛdi saa dwumadie no a election biara ba a ɔmo abɛka adeɛ ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo yɛ na yɛnhu baabi a sika no efi ba afei nso yɛnhu ɛbere pɔten a ɔmo de bɛyɛ saa adeɛ no nti nea yɛsua ne sɛ 2028 election no mediafoɔ yɛsrɛ mu sefa wei deɛ mede hyɛ wo nsa sɛ ɔmo mount stage na sɛ ɔmo ka yɛde flyover bɛba asalam down a na wɔbisa ne sɛ asalam down dan ahe na mbɛbubu asalam down dan ahe na mbɛbubu na sika no nso a mode bɛyɛ flyover wɔ asalam down no mobɛfa afiri hi na asalam down flyover no how many years na mode bɛwie ma yɛ ntena hɔ da biara na politicians ba yɛbɛyɛ sei ɛsɛ sɛ motumi bisa ɔmo ɛnti akɔ sɛ da biara na politicians na fɔ mu wedi o mo nkɔnkɔ ka gum ɔba na sɛ wantumi anyɛ a na wama wɔ excuse ne nti a wantumi anyɛ ne nso ɔno nso na ɔhyɛ Ghanafoɔ bɔ sɛ ɔbɛyɛ ABC ɛnti yɛbɛsrɛ mediafoɔ going forward.
You must scrutiny in your case.
A soccer. Asha. Bisani pano. To say Accra and Sawam Road. And say, Sanipan Bekaso, me ya Accra and Sawam Road. Osio me ba, ma betuaso. Na se obana Sawam betuaso a. O scrutiny ye anka obede. Waka say, hey, Michelle Nkrofo Ebo enti ade say me ye. And take drivers and continue. Kwan no so enye demonstration and say you say oh yenko ma contractors can on ye because a BC so nanka by this time no do carriage no anka by this time atra kumase kra anka enye boni enti say ye jai politicians na so be kasa na say yanchi o month na say embiso mo nsem a sefa election bia no obanya bibia yeden aka enti we na emu adwuma muni omu ntena se afei civil society 2024 modwumadi omudi ya meme hu so
one who civil society organizations omdwumadi omudi in 2024
eto de bia no mo ahye political jersey ene na ha Ghana eto de bia no mo ahye political jersey
civil society organizations
yes
omo memo
anka omo ye referee ono ni kotoko ni has emra na ewo ho no questions ese omo bisa niam ese omo ka no otie emu bia ewo radio so ni TV so a oka say enipa we dio ojuani amanyoko we enipa we dio ka ma amanyoko we banko mu so omo adwuma no so no anka nsese sefa ohun baabi oyeden ogina na so mu kasa mu ni omu ni ye mu kra mo mu hu baabi oyeden omugina going forward no yempese ye behu civil society omu friends kuo anase omu we institution no yempese ye behu no sa baabi eso omu bisa asem a eye din eso omu bisa ade bi koso wa ben mu wo position mu na senya ese omutumi eden omutumi ka enti ye nko 2028 election ye behu omo say akra we de me hwe rainbow color jerseys pa o hwe dia o support us se ekoba na sa ye nya omo nso mfaso na omo dwumedi omo de na ese Ghana fo nya eso mfaso no mu ngina mfimfin se GFP ye na senya omunka se MPP ye na se enya omunka se NDC ye na se enya omunka eno ne be ma Ghana fo anya gidie esa se so mu sori gina na so mu di asem no tu ba bi eda Ghana fo benya gidie ewo omumu etibra campaign no koso no na obi enu say 2024 aban nsisan ebeba because o share the ratings on the wall na bibia chiro esanse na MPP for na nkasa fatu dia bom fifi de kamu
na NPP afatu dia bom kwa meza no mafatu dia bom
because of omwan sembia omoka omwa party no because MPs more than 60 to me sorry say Mr. President finance minister no eduma odi no ye ho so enti no na presidency o there be muntwen kakra ebeka be 6 or 5 months
about 6 months
6 months
yeah
6 months na ba wo Ghana ya to ewi o 6 months to election no na ye decide abewi sabre na o finance minister entina MPP for na nkasa no omunim say omu ko position because omu ankasa nsem bi omu kan ye no e magana fo mu say mu na mu won nsuo na ase enti se mu na mu won nsuo na ase e na mu kan say dia ya ye won nsuo ni dia se fa be den and what omu nuanom NDC fo no so edi ma Ghana fo no na mu ye enti Ghana fo ji tum so si ye hwe parties ni na nia NDC ɛɛka no ɛmo yɛ nti yɛntu aba no ɛma ɔmo ɛna Ghanafoɔ de tu aba ma NDC foɔ as to whether 24-hour economy no ɔmo ayɛ ɔmo nyɛ yo akɔ ɔmo 3 years yɛhwɛ anim sɛ ɔmo bɛyɛ na fifi dɛka wɔfo ase no agya ne haw nti nneɛma ɔmo aka nyinaa no yɛnyɛ abotire ma ɔmo time will surely tell.
All right, Joseph said time will surely tell. 80 minutes past the hour of year 5. Suma baku du motre. And abo ediapa enunum hona wiei. Miaminia Haruna Amaliba. Kinsley.
Sefa.
A year on.
Yes, I'm more Hana in Chia at T4. And a million more. Bibi, see Bibi. Sefa, last week, right here on this very platform, the Assembly Tuja.
Yeah.
In relations to contest Beko Soboko Central.
Yeah.
In 2027.
Yeah.
God willing. Metiasia Mijinum.
You contest.
Nothing will change. Nothing will change it. Nothing will change it.
Over contested.
Nothing will change it.
Heavily sponsored by Fifi Deka.
Over contested.
Nothing will change it. But if I'm in Kawi, you see, as a citizen from Bokolan or from the Cossack state, meaning Kosa Ebameso, meaning in someone amount for Eka. Sabi abayin ba bem appointment in Sayan Kamedia. But meaning demander Ebameso. Relative to the problems are a facing amount for on the ground. I can show you some pictures and videos and you weep. And then your problem. Because leadership or politics is about the people.
Yeah.
Me can be say me call say my winning prime minister me call independent. I think say let me borrow the words of Ampini Akufo-Addo. I beg the gods of Lashibi to forgive me, but not from a basa.
When we need primaries in our own court, independent.
Bro, I won't lose. I won't.
You won't lose the primaries?
Never. I won't. I am contesting to win.
What makes you that confident?
Defeat have never been part of me.
What, Amaliba, what makes you that confident?
The confidence is the people. And let me finish this. Party phobi framing, penning phobi framing, party members framing. So Amaliba, I said, "Media, you know you are doing them when you can one can ye." EpaHoaDaben. As a law-abiding member of the party constitution against such a decision, I will be the last person to trample upon that instruction and demand of the party constitution. Indeed, my apologies and retraction for saying, and let me do so on this very platform. It's a test to win. I will not lose. Me do be our friend me ase. Omo di matem so me da omo ase. Omo from aboma ba so me da omo ina ase. Omo from abrochiri na me do be ase. Together we will save Boko. We will make Kusak great again. Somewhere Mecca and
7. NDC parliamentary primaries at Bekoso.
Jinem. Nothing will stop it. You see, my kind say you know. But I mean, some we say. Tifi Deka, Tia Quinsa. Mebanuso. Assembly will raise here. Let me repeat it. My buying pin in 40 me a year. And I am rare. In Czechia, and come mom and penny John Dramani Mahama. Accra. Belated birthday to you. I mean, Chair Prof. Jenano Pukwajiman, the Vice President, Her Excellency. Namin Chair Minister for Interior, Honorable Muntaka Mubarak. Namin Chair IGP. When you pussy for a dear driver for a fast this time, a time. Maybe ya me who video be yam ransom kwanta Ghana web in a publishing video. No. Driver ni police is original barrier so what check driver. One no Emma driver ni still sa won't to the car. See, if we want to understand the Ghanaian voter very well, where we are today, you're 2016, all the infrastructure, Mahama did it. All the indicators of the economy was very impressive. Everything was rosary. Hita to so free. What they saying? 37. And then the increase shake to what Bessia call Kaneshi to also echo Kolebua. It takes you hours to cross circle. But how much change that phenomenon? Giving ease traffic to drivers and commuters. Kumasi KJT Market Complex, the Pejasi were the biggest in West Africa. Kotokraba Market, Cape Coast Stadium, mention the rest. Ghanaians gave us 44%. What it means is that, and yeah, no, and not Ghana for everywhere. If I am right, or if I may be right. So driver ni etu ne car. Na police ni enya cheno. Ejini sika na pana. Sefa, forget about food ebo aba for mo because of dollar. Forget about spare parts ebo aba for mo because of import duties. Forget about any other things. Sabu funi shedimu the whole day. Na ne bufu ni nipa na bufu ni break so.
The car buying so, yeah.
He said the car buying so there. Ne juma eti aye. I mean, if I so bad also, I just have to walk away. Last week, Sabre na me to UTV and I do late news. Me pon ye na about almost 12. Because jina kwembe 2 hours na me nyaka. Me kodu fie na kobo na 2 apahun I kobo 3. Sabi party juma na me koye you. Na wo boa no na nkrofo bi jina kwem ehwete a. And then what is the sense in it? If anything at all, I am part of people who strongly demand they say, Akufudan Parin Kofi. When Mr. Tete Yonu, IGP, I have some man 2 years extension. Mr. IGP, whatever you are, don't let us regret for supporting you for IGP. If you have issue about the letter, you know where to address it to. But he shouldn't let us regret. Akufudan Parin posi for frequent. And you be a dear bad dear partner see you chrome my chest posi for you frequent or you need. I want to know, I don't know. So be the monk and me. If you deka some no also can in a course some you. Your chain eventually no court.
Yeah.
Complainant number. What was sleep at the time? One. Kada den cause you maybe also call ya edisi kabeba na botu. What Jenny na no kwakwa na court.
Yeah.
Obeying the law enforcement officer. Eventually one back court. Now come on. Your man nyoma kosa. Many people that come sue Ghana Police Service. That very station they me call you know. Come sue commander of that hono or hono. Any other people are, you see, men cannot air, but I will tell you later behind the scenes. I will sue them. Wasteful. No, time is resources. Economic loss. I won't say much. New Washono won't ye. Omo ye de ya ebebo won me nam fomo obi da V team. One din fa so ha. One din fa so ha. Me am nam fomo o da V team kuta position. The way to the wise is always in the north. 1 year on. Awie me ba ha. Me who publication be online. Now before me ba publication no so no. Sefa, permit me to make this passionate appeal to the government and to Honorable Interior Minister. The Interior Minister left curfew in Solatuna, Kalba.
Yeah.
According to UTV News Flyer. Sir, Oman left the curfew, you know what? I am pleading with all due respect and with all humility. Mr. President and Interior Minister, consider the situation in Binduri. Consider the situation in Boko and do something about the curfew.
What was it on rain state?
We say, oh yes, BB about it. So one left in entirely, the time no can even be extended. Or they can review the time. But I will respectfully suggest that no mukra motor riding and it's annual. Yes. Bitmakers will be riding motor man for being it's allowed. But to ban motor riding entirely in the area imposes severe hardship on the people. That is the source of transport.
Yeah.
Can you with a be one food as a hanitishi with man nantia kwabana.
David.
Now, you impose curfew, you put for the enforce curfew laws, and yes, so yes. A village outskirt Garu or the same Binduri. No videos, no, I can show them to you. Me send them my BB cry last week. I saw you for a chinko for your moto so moko baby. You stop or molest or move ya. You see, I'm for bo and fan say or moto no motisono. Oria, obo ball speedometer no ne headlight ne sa the working system ni na wi no. Was once sa abosia ne anwea enfan gu petrol tank ni mu. Na yes or say moto no kra. Hey, these are soldiers. Ghana Armed Forces uniform. A revered institution like the Ghana Armed Forces. Bibi Drunier. So my appeal to the government is that Omon check is new man. Bibi, also Missy Bibi. Seva, ye nim someone ye catch a young crow for to aba Emma MPP zeros. MPP are angry towards Yen Kusasas and the people from Boko. You know why? Dankwa Buzia tradition. Ya two aba momoya zero in a polling station. It's a humiliation to the party. It was a political risk our people took. We don't want to believe that risk now is taking, you know. We did that at least for a foolish reason. I don't want to believe that. He who have ears, let them hear. 2028 is not too far from now. Into muti no way the fata ebe boy yina. Sefa, we are looking at 1 year on after President Mahama assumptions to office. Please, Mankabi, allow me to flow. Won't keep it time. Kasa be more than 30 minutes. Nobody interrupted you.
That's so ya kwa heno be kasa 30 minutes.
If you dekatia ka LGBTQ I remember born in some no briefly na remember the substantive matter. LGBTQ you know say you confirm once in a buy I feel about no once in a buy. When a cassette is bound to happen. Nyakufadwa. One time who build balls all over the country projecting that nasty, evil agenda. Akufado time. Now, I'm penning that Akufo. I can't say me. Let me read it to you. What's it the mayor? Akufo say he didn't understand Akufado's leadership. Akufo neka. Say mambo Akufado bebu ya no. Ne ya mambo funwa kusisa ono kwa bunu oti ase enye yie. Mampene da Akufo di ewu ono no waka. Meboa. Osan to aso biom. Akufo say MPP defeat and warn against Akufado's misgovernance. Honorable Amakofi Boa, Lands and Natural Resources Minister. Akufado lasted the nation address in Parliament. Obona Senator for Akufado Mambuno. Or boarding out of for less than 5 minutes. Needed the before the free parliament to call one court no be fan of him. Mambu can we? JB Dankwa neba Paul Dankwa. Peter Pollock, nani kununo or Obama. On it nine over 40 years. Bemani Bema mother died back. I could for the straw Montama no Yakwala, no common chain, you can chain order. The bush for Brown Bimu Borono. Now, if he's away, Parliament are passed, but I don't also on sign. Will he sign? No wonder he failed to sign it. Be ashamed of yourself. If you don't understand something, educate yourself about the law. The 9th Parliament came to an end. Whatever happened under the 9th Parliament, expired under the 9th Parliament. President Mahamaka or say Parliament passed him running there, but he will sign it into law. What I want to say? You have any problem? Go and ask my opinion that I could follow. What's the guarantee? Now, NDC Penibia Kojina Slim say, on Kagalamsi, the baby your friend Nakosi say. After all, when the names were alleged by the Interior Minister, the government had the courage and asked state agencies to investigate it. Who to me? Party Yesika, from Pom Boating was a home. You tini na Ukruma. Donald Entia. Gabi Ochedako wasn't he their lawyer, according to Professor from Pom Boating report on the by. Or Freeman why? And so, Brown Bonnet or Judge in Yeka. Man could join conscious in the power wouldn't cheer some yanka. Yabeka. Imperial man name why dia, only dia. Well, Gilligan and Sassy in a goose or won't make any chance. Because it suits you. Convenient excuse. And then to meet the court. You are kissing the NDC. Say you buy Galam say Aya West. So it was there in Abaya West. Brim, Ofen, River Densu, Yensu, River, how do you call it? Western region where other rivers were River Bia
and Cobra.
And Cobra, no need the home. All of them were heavily polluted under your era. So you are now accusing the NDC that we are being slow to fix your mess. We are dealing with them systematically. In any case, NDC have 4 years mandate. 24-hour economy, I told you, yate. 24-hour economy. It is not, how do we call it, a policy in here, a hasty implementation. No. The Ghanaian economy, fundamentally, a better rest on the 24-hour economy when we are able to integrate the current system, linking it up to that policy. And you need to get certain fundamentals right. When we came to power, we jai less than 1 day fuel to power our energy sector. Through the ingenuity, the hard work, and the wisdom of President Mahama, and then the minister, Honorable John Jinapo, and then what is the doom so much doom so once in you. Doesn't mean the life wouldn't go off. A better call off because a system. You call off maximum less than 15-20 minutes. Your light is on. It happened yesterday in a meeting. A call off. Less than 10 minutes, light were on. It's still on. When was the last time we could do so once in you? Shame on you people. We are solving your mess.
Or 2 minutes more.
Waka say paper or saying no fee stress in Tuan fees and all of that. The students are happy. Free SHS. Mahama Bai Begu, Omotimi Kabium. You have improved it. Children are eating better. Captation Grand Pejam. President Mahama Bai health insurance card on Modi, a training at that hospital. You train a Sikan Campus Abroso, near say, Master Monfak is a kind of family. In your social intervention policy, that. Do you understand what you are talking about? Mahama cares, Abba. Any Ghanaian who is suffering from chronic diseases. In fact, President Kwampo can say, National Health Insurance. Kapina Mampedo to say, he is a company if you are decouple National Health Insurance from Get Fund. So from next year on, we spend the 1 year relaying the fundamentals you broke down. We relayed it. Big push, Uniha. 60 billion Ghana cedis going into road infrastructure. And then Ghana be a construction site. Fatima Motorway never. Expressway. By next year, everything will take shape. Ghana for my 4 years.
Come back. Mampani Coco Cha Cocate sword. A finya.
Yes. Yes.
I think say by 2024, December na was it 2024? I think it's 2024 December near. I contract and was.
Look at Cape Coast, Cape Coast. Fifi Jadi, oh, you're not pesa, I'm coming in the family media. Cape Coast.
And where did it start?
Kasua Cape Coast.
No,
I'm telling you.
no, hold on. Me, I want to meet it.
Me faho.
And you are foul. Me, I met you on a make us.
Oh, yeah, the tractor. I'm coming in. Cape Coast, Kasua to Takrady Road. Dual carriage contract has been awarded. Contract has been awarded. The work has already begun. For the first time, look at Kumasi project at Ekosuo and all over the country. Sefa, Yenkasa Ghana in heaven. Even when President Mahama have done all this and leave, Ghana will not be heaven. Your busa baomia. Also, and your man, you know, you're not better officer. Lazy man approach. Sankwas 5. Nko iba kuma namra ye twa omo. Enti ne omo kan na no ye de yate. Wo de wono do yure bi wo. Adwene bo bew mabunu na President Mahama don bu man. Mbo me boss abaso lo sami jemfi. Wo bia mi chiaw. Party force omo da wasepa. Sanse ye ba wani mu a wo de asopa ne ti won. Nya won ko a edugita makro. These are the humble young guys in the government who are making difference. And before Tinchenya, they envy the NDC. Why? Because President Mahama have put up sharp brains that doesn't go faint. 24/7. Look at Gold Board and Fasua and the gold smugglers. Ya campo mo down under MPP. Akufo-Addo was the lead smuggler of gold. Alistair Matias. Al Jazeera Gold for Diaben came out.
But he failed to provide evidence
to provide. Omampine Kufuor through the executive secretary or come Al Jazeera said, Omo retracted. They said they all had retracted. Let them chairman only or let them media. And I will even plead with my government, say, let them know while they should produce it. That kind of matter. Common sense nebu mainu or see about in year. That is true. Dollar back form and everything is coming down because common sense is working.
Okay.
Common sense is working. Munye phone amuntra honi muye mai. Sasa mutu mi ya. And then the lead character in your government cannot forget to two bata. What Johnny a penis on your ma. Go for call you not even or the same a year. When I walk with your mouth, no, Yankopa friend. Who came after him? I don't know. But Osafma for Tikroma. Dr. Kosibochi or Tell Kroma Kusi and Copa on the Tons of friend. Satekwa Tikroma, Dr. Commander Dufonso Tikroma. All finance ministers under the Fourth Republic after leaving office are here. Kwame Paparam and others. Can of wait what they were Johnny.
That can of domicile before coming to Ghana to become a finance minister.
Oh, I see.
Not to
Kromaya.
Not to Kromaya.
Only how long or the demonstration. Occupy Ghana, no can be.
Okay.
And now to time demonstration.
But my question for
you bay him
my question for you found 6 minutes. You can't ensame you. Benin coup attempt. Number 2 has got to do with Fabaka. And Omoka said there should be a comprehensive audit of utility tariff increment. No, I was say your free utility providers in your motornasi. Near Buso mon Sampa and Sana. Sebeja to me, Adia to Mentesa, and your house and a Mamisha family to Robert Fideka.
Benin same media nya kayeni efiasem
ba je ni efiasem they do for 6 minutes never ka efiasem
na ya say krachi owen wa so edwane ko because in some no kiba betra kikan ni bibiri wo ha just say me hu ni opeso kire kra one of the things I high ewo amemu ye ekosu ni say obi anim say Accra to Kumasi the most busiest highway in the country.
Yeah.
President Kufuor tries to dualizing or start here or actually. You we do 8 years or man for 1 kilometer and put there 100 meters grow man fan come. Muja kwani to what to send another buyer or no so I started say oh yeah kakra. Into one would expect say answer na president you because of some highway. Akwafa baby. Yeah, but this is a corner and Kwafa Kede Chihodum baby. Koye highway, Akwafa baby, Akudukumasino. At least, Kabe who say way now ya starting a year. Because Ghana Hano is Sabi. Yes, it can not so did that. Now, why 2 roads leading to the same place at the same time? For whatever purpose, I don't know. And then it is saying, oh, bra, Penny Adakabre justify or radio so say na there. But one say because say ye sika nurse nti no emri bia no e say try say be ni hia ne first answer na e fata. Scan wo ho ne highways dey be for e bia ba konam water side at me kusi kumase ba konam kede ho am so me ko face at me kusi kumase fine. But sika ne nurse sa. Oh, it's in obia expect say nka because yesu si buse ofi kakra kokumase out me this 7 hours 8 hours.
7 hours. 8 hours.
8 hours. It's ade na ye ma ye nim ko ekwan na ye sisi ano so na ye wie ni ehun se ekwan no we de ye wie from Accra to Kumasi aye double ye dualizing na see the coffee be coffee underground cry ehun okay. Me I was thinking say ka mo buy ye instead of highway no probably me can say okay or ye rails no because rail need send ekwan on holiday until at least no ye nya ne kakra o de me yes in some mu ni biom because first one not train to me con some ti bia me ye do some na kakra na tu present ko ya another highway e ko fa hin ko ye highway na just say o dwi ho crown ti ase nti enuanum no mo hwe nsa ne ma we no bi na because mo na mo say mo ye socialist government here musimu ye yen shede hu mu niama na enimu ye ene nam de musa ko kan we o chana nam de musa ko kan we nam de musa ko kan we mo so ya corruption ena wo kola ba ko kan no se mahama kwa America na se de nam tamakru eti hobi adan wan china she play mo de mani ato for yata yen kokotu yen fa ni kokotu ena na me ka earlier no say already crack case amoboti ano first one crowd ya to assume that cathedral no attorney general abegina ho aka say there was nothing wrong, there was no corruption relating to the cathedral obian first ke bia ntia no de say ye film SML in say mo figures no cry sorted first anam say 2.7 billion say no mama yen say 500 million say no say eye ofuriata na akoso say the court na be kire yen court oti ase insem ni bebre ye crop bebre o ho a modi gidi mu court insem ase ye hu se de asem no kra ko cause ye hu ye di cases ni bi achi a it means san court room and ye say ye kodi case wo ha ni aredraw ni asan de ko ha ni aredraw ni asan de ko ha a unche de hu ni e koso omo a uchichi omu nyina this man put there is it boss I say crazy companies and best.
Yeah, best.
Yeah, so my former boss required up to now in charge no. Provincial. Yeah. Up to now in train at the Kunti echi no. So much in the to almost 1 week. Oh. Just say untimi hu near yen crop we person mo ye. What kind of fight is this? Me the debia me can say omo no abembo no omo bunu. Enya Ghana for no omo hu hiomo omo supporters.
How so?
Oh. Omo ye niama, they just do things to please their base. Ti ade ye be kan hu atu inframemu. Ni e catch we say hwe we say so asem ni pie ba na so me yi anu a bo say no ma can it differently. Asem na pie ba no of the year ya mom and say what ya is untimi court. Aban ni say na attorney general say oni krata bia e kire say na untimi ye galamsey wo forest reserves. There's no document anywhere.
1 minute more.
Intino, omuntu omobo. Ye de amembo na shemonsa. E nyama amofu se betimi aye. Sabi ye sorry na petrol 7 cities ade mean to be. But to be. Light here we see 15% because of the levy amuji nti see light no kwa ya tiso by 15%. Many meji. Cause also ye secret akaka no asan kudum no because usuro. Oti ase. Intino eye ma ye nyina. Mamo nwin say obi mpɛ sɛ ɛyɛ yi anaa bibi ba ɛmu no kwan a mofa so yɛ nneɛma bi na ebu ayɛ kasa but apart from that deɛ
Raffle.
Yeah, so far na me nua fee say we yendi en fie asɛm but I can sure fee say beni asɛm no sɛ na bibi si wa on sɛ beni e bentogo yeah bi ɔmo nkotogo mbɛba Ghana
how
yes
alentra
ɛfa on sɛ togo beni no sɛ bibi si beni ene Benifo no ebeba Ghana dan sɛ ɔmbɛka sɛ ɔmo kɔ Togo nti no mete saa nsɛm no sɛ fa bisa me sɛ West Africa dɛn paa ne yɛhwehwɛ
adeɛ na mo amanyɔfoɔ no moyɛ
neɛ nti a akɔba saa ne sɛ nkurɔfoɔ bi ɛnni gyidie ɛwɔ the way a ɔman resources no yɛkyɛ no
ade nti na ɔmo nya gyidie wɔ
yes because sɛ youth no hwɛ bra politicians no ɛbɔ a na youth no ɛbrɛ a ɛno nti na ma saa nneɛma wei adɔɔso wɔ West Africa no friends Burkina Faso Niger kyɛ sɛ apart from Ghana no mehu West African country a ɛyɛ free that no sɛ mehu picture bi from Nigeria asɔre o ɔmo yɛ worship nipa na ɔlidi worship no na ɔkitatuo wɔn a ɔmo gyina n'akyi no na ɔmo nso kitatuo come on wohwɛ adeɛ wei a mfa na edu yi sɛ na nyame fie koraa no wokɔ agye sɛ ɛdɛn wokitatuo nti Mr. Politicians yɛnhwɛ yie wei da biara mewɔ Bible quotation bi ɔsɛ sɛ wohu akyiwadeɛ a ɛbɔ ɔman a ɛgyina kronkron bia hɔ odiifoɔ Daniel ka ho asɛm no a mohu sɛ kuro no bon anaasɛ kuro no sɛeɛ no ɛdu mekɔto Bible
ɔsɔfoɔ George Afo
nti sɛ yɛhu sɛ saa nneɛma wei ɛkɔ so wɔ Benin ɛkɔ so wɔ Burkina Faso
akɔ so Burkina Faso Mali Niger akɔ so wɔ Guinea akɔ so wɔ Guinea Bissau akɔ so ɛwɔ ɛyɛ Benin
nti yɛhu sɛ akyiwadeɛ no gyina Africa and I love the New World Translation Bible ɔsi therefore when you catch the disgusting things surrounding the holy place that caused dissolution let the reader use discernment nti African leaders munhwɛ yie o na neɛ ɛba no ɛnyɛ sefa
yɛsi yɛdi bro nya ne wie yaa yɛdi
sefa wei fifi aka asɛm bi hwɛ ɛna wotumi sɛ ɔyɛ si hwɛ ɛneɛ gye sɛ wowɔ wei me last born no ɛneɛ wosɔ kakra ma da hwɛ ɛnyɛ easy ɛnti yɛserɛ paa saa deɛ no deɛ ɛba a ɛbɛha adwen already medeɛ meka kyerɛ Kingsley Amaliba sɛ waban no anhwɛ yi a Ghana police bɛsɛe waban no
Ghana police
yes sɛ da no mefrɛ no asɛm bi yɛsii wɔ circle yɛfiri ahyia ma ɛbɛ o ɛna driver no wapaki mame dɔkono hɔ wasi nipa driver no ɔkɔ new plan that will be his last stop police ne ba wagyina driver no baabi a ɔgyina driver no ɔwɔ kwan mu ɛnti anka ma ɔmpaki yie wosi driver no ndi w'akyi ahopopo nti driver no so gya kaa no ɛna cargo car bi a wafa ɛmo ba from the back seat to I think the second to last way no ni side mirror no say ne nyinaa unsu police ya one change cargo car yi
oja cargo car ma ne koy
ja cargo car no ma ne koy
ɛna public transport trotro no ono no car na asɛe no egusu esi kwan nkyɛn
egusu esi car kwan no mu o change one to no ɛna akra no su oboka because that glass no kosha enye sika kitwa enti me from Maliba say hwɛ monhwɛ yi o na who take Ghana for granted a wobɛkɔ fie enti sɛ terrorist so ba be ka ho we na
onya crowd so betia
ubetua but you see
ubetua badanya wo de
aha
amemene mfe na ade betua
enu na edi mafa me ho adwen no eba no se what you say enu na edi okay mafa me ho adwen se uye den ya ohia nsuo uye den ya ohia
nyina mo nkane of course
ena ne awotua no enya komapɛ mu eya memre Fimu na odi tuya.
Yeah.
And you nama for one dream.
Ona manu afa ho adwen. Kingsley. Mamra hoy. Last bite of the cherry.
Sefa. Osha Benin coup na isi now. I am told that the coup have been quelled by the state forces.
Yeah.
And now,
Loyal to Patrice Talon.
those guys
who quelled the coup.
No, McCann, the coup plotters, have been arrested.
Yes.
But Benin is a French-speaking country.
French, yes.
Good. So you know my course of francophone countries in Africa.
Yeah.
You are aware. So why do we blame them? I'm in support of those coups.
You are in support of those coups?
I'm telling you.
Kingsley.
Your president has condemned it.
You are in support of those coups?
That's my personal view. Let me express, in fact, let me say that me, Amalaba, as an individual,
you are in support of those coups?
I am in support of those coups.
And what's your reason?
Hitherto, Burkina Faso was the poorest country in Africa.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Niger,
yes.
And Mali. Today, can anybody call them poor? Can anybody call them poor? Even our president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, there was a program in Accra, maybe if it didn't in the Accra International Conference Center. Was say democracy, anti-man yielded the needed dividend for the citizens to fail. Maybe
yes.
But in these francophone countries, do you have democracy in those countries? Do you have it? They are puppets of the imperialists who are suffering Africa and suppressing their citizens. So if the citizens are rising up to stand up against these foreign forces, can I blame them? Me, Amalaba Metie, can I blame them? I won't. Ibrahim Traore, Oba, President Mahama inauguration. When fans of Beji, or Jefan, Koya Jefans Grampo Che, your president, yes, when eat. Yes. Fans in a buy in a corner. Who is Ibrahim Traore? Correct you away when you room. That is why you must build a nation for the people. And no, and a President Mahama, you're for the nation builder. And that what you say expressway. And who here? Yati, more thank you for ya. Kwame Nkrumah, AC Temamoto way. They lambasted him. Kwame Nkrumah moved the motion of destiny for Ghana's independence. They lambasted him. Omo Krata Koma US and the UK buying say Kwame Nkrumah engaging in wasteful spending of national resources. Say Okosi Dam. It's an overly ambitious project. JB Dam kwase for no money. Are you surprised? Asenso Boachi you. Ocho Krata Ekoma Wan Pini Mahama say. Okumasi Express when hu hia. The 50 de kasotia woka. You wasteful expenditure. Can I continue kasa mi wa mankabi? Me bom di tani boni padi ya kasa. Won, when mo? At the pub bi wa bagan ha o mo fo so da. At the pub bi ba kro mi o mo bagu. Ewi echi no. No more say twam ho better ha bo so bo. Uni mi nipo de NHIS by. June 30 the year 2000. Go and check from June 30 year 2000. Go and check Daily Graphic publication. Professor Danso Boafo, I think was a deputy minister of health, if my memory serves me right, was part of the team that did all the work. Paperwork in any area, he handed over Mamo. National Health Insurance have never been MPP brainchild and was never their brainchild. Dr. Adokofo, MP for Manshia at that time, and a member of the MPP, our parliament, opposed National Health Insurance. Mode, mutual, by we made it national. The facts are there. Go and read from parliament. Can I proceed? Can I proceed? Can I proceed? What didn't try to do? And they'll tell boss war. Look, baby, I was saying, Sefa, tariff increment here, Ebe.
Yeah.
If people have problem and they are calling for, or they're saying, audit.
Yeah.
Of existing.
A comprehensive audit.
A comprehensive auditor.
Yeah.
Baby, me no more ya dream, Sefa. Me no more ya dream. And we shouldn't forget that a part of the IMF conditionalities are buying way sign MPP are buying and Sunday bind any future government that will come after them. And mind you, because our recovery has been so quick thanks to the prudent economic management and discipline by this government, which indeed IMF Krampo said the ACR recover no Krampo yomwa. Omshe ko shoko na ye Ghana pa se Ghana wa fonya anemia ni moja yina awiwe na no wanya osteoporosis.
Ghana ede.
Ghana ya osteoporosis. Nah, your level of recovery now, you want to your tentem now. Oh, Krampo, oh, dear, ye. Can you, sir? Kiemedua, I find your market today. Fixed leakages to plug 900 million, so 90 million Ghana cedi ECG monthly losses instead of increasing tariffs. Minority tells government. Into your leakages, so a cost of 90 million Ghana cedis every month. Hey, Afenyo! What Konya? Leakages go one more. BNI must investigate this claim for Afenyo marking. Some say, no, your board chair or ECG. They should investigate this. Well, but they were in power barely 9 months, 10 or 1 year ago. They were in power. A year near 2 pounds. When say leakage be all. And I'm called Sane, IMF conditionalities way. Eddie Ghana and Sako share IMF as say. IMF deal with government, not individual.
Yeah.
And the government now, we are following policy prescriptions IMF here. And this year, Geomani free IMF for some more. Now, Yankasa, you move on. I think we can begin to look at these things and deal with them. Once a binding document before sign it there, then this government have nothing to do than to oblige by it.
Kingsley, Mamma say, Yamfansia. Na nonsia na abono nonsia mama fa na asiama ora George Afo ora Fifideka ora Kingsley Haruna amaliba so ene ewie mpa me tena se me de eyenko twetwe no edebra EpaHoaDaben na utie ye ne frem nyankompa sa chede je kwa Joseph Adankwa kasi aba na dusuo no kasi abo ka kire akwasi yabo a na ababa wa so no abna asante